to the closing series here in EGC, Daily Classic 4. And we're about to witness the draft. Yeah, even now, as we see, it is underway and live. So, a bit better. Yeah, so
I need to turn my light away.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why, like, what changed? I guess the sun's gone.
It's been a couple hours, you know. That said that we've been cruising through these series. We are going to our final one today. They are still drafting Puppypaw, having just finished his last series. We'll give him some time. We finished up the last one. Ooh, French and HRE for Beasty. It's going to be Lancaster and Zushi for Puppypaw are the last couple picks. We got tons of time to actually talk about the draft today. So, hey, Malians for Beasty coming in here. So Ottomans and Byzantines being sniped. We have not seen Malians sneak through, and that's a civ that I feel like Beasty is exceptionally good with.
Yeah, that's true. And that is a very strong civ as well. So he's going to be happy with that one. KT first pick by Puppypaw is crazy to me as well. There are 2 water maps, so
I said there's 2 water maps.
Yeah, it's not the most outlandish thing, especially if he's. I mean, Puppy is a KT land enjoyer, so if he actually plans on picking in our land, then this does also make sense. But that would be pretty crazy. But I mean, by now we can expect it from Puppy a little bit from what we've seen in the last game. But also
expect the unexpected.
Yeah, true. Expect the unexpectable, even. But what surprises me most about this draft is just how late French is picked. It's Beastie's. Is that last or second last pick? It's either one of the 2, but either way,
one of those 2.
Oh, it's banned.
Yeah, I was saying Beastie banned it on Puppypaw's side, so he had the luxury of waiting on that one.
Yeah, that makes a lot of
sense. That's why Puppypaw also had Zushi at the very end because he banned it for Beastie. So.
Yeah, I saw the Zushi ban, but I missed the French ban. So, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And in classic Beastie fashion, HRE marks the honor pick at the end. I mean, from a drafting perspective, I do want to say Beastie is looking pretty comfortable. At least, just in my opinion, I think he just has the better draft. Oh, you feel Puppy has the better draft?
I think Puppypaw with the U-bids, I mean, that's a comfort civ for him. Obviously, HRE is a comfort civ for Beastie. So is Malians. I actually like both drafts quite a bit. I don't see any sneaking in that are... I mean, Malians and Macedonians is pretty big for Beastie, but seeing a U-bids and KT for Puppypaw is also, like, pretty good. I don't think there's anything that rocks the boat too much. The fact that we have 2 water maps, most of these map drafts we've seen have only had 1 sneak in. This one we got 4 lakes, but Lakeside is another choice. We've yet to cast a game on Lakeside today. I can see that coming in, but we start off on King of the Hill, Macedonians versus Rus on King of the Hill.
We've seen this once today already. I've seen
this exact matchup before. We've seen this matchup today. We have not seen it on this specific map, though. It changes things on King of the Hill, I think.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple of times, this matchup here, and it's never went well for Rus, to be honest, even though it is like the best Rus map. But after what we've seen today, that might shake things up because it looked pretty comfortable when B played it. I mean, you can make the argument maybe the food control wasn't perfect from Numudan that game, but it was still pretty difficult for him to recover after he lost his push on the tempo. He lost his tempo on the push. Excuse me.
Yeah.
But on this map, it's obviously very different because Rus has so much more passive income and is way more defensible. So in theory, it should be even better for Rus than a normal map. But then
Macedonians.
Again, the fast capture on the sites, and you have like the spot for Golden Horn Tower here in the center, which Rus should never really be able to stop. I wonder what Puppy
that's
has
my
in
worries.
store.
I feel like Rus against any other civ would be pretty good here, but against Macedonians, the speed at which their castles are going to come in, be able to plop that tower wherever they want, probably on the top of the hill with those huge 2 8K golds. I mean, denying that's going to be paramount. So then if you're playing as Puppypaw with Rus, do you fundamentally change what Rus would normally do on this map? Do you do something different? Do you play Feudal Knights? Is that even something you would go to? I just don't know that'd be enough. I feel like Macedonians is going to be a tough task for Puppypaw as the Rus, even though Rus are really good on King of the Hill in most matchups.
Yeah, I don't think Feudal is the way for Rus. I don't see them ever really winning against Macedonia unless Macedonia missteps. And looking at the head-to-head, I mean, We can't
Wow.
really ask for a closer series, can we? 11-11. Beasty leading by one singular game and has a bit of a win streak going on in their last encounters, leading 2 series now in a row. Poppy's last victory was in the Crack Cup, the second one, 3-1.
This is impressively even. This is just genuinely impressively even. Just a slightest of edge. One game difference here between them.
This is as even as Puppy against Wham. Like it
really is.
That's also like
this
50-50.
This is incredibly even. I mean, this is flip a coin. It does not get any closer than this, which means we should be in for an incredible series. Let's take a look at the matches here overall in our group stage. This is Group A. A lot of numbers to look at here, but let's see some of the top performances that stand out. Vortex having just an incredibly good series, a good tournament so far. Wham likewise having won all 5 of his series. I think he's got the best record of the bunch there with the 5 series wins.
Yeah, Wham is looking absolutely unstoppable here in Group A. He's definitely gonna be the leader in his group soon enough after he...
Currently 2 up over Goalie Deckelt as well.
Yeah, that's looking good for him. Of course, after winning every... He's yet to face Marine Lord, which is gonna be tomorrow, I believe.
That'll be good. That'll be a good one to watch. Looking at Group B, we've got B as one of the top performers here, as well as Lucifron, who's been just, I mean, the other Spanish bro, man, they have been really good. A couple series that have been dropped, though. B took a series from Lucifron, it looks like.
Yep.
Beasty as well, 12-6. Had that surprise sweep against Lucifron, but otherwise has been very, very dominant. We'll see how he fares against Puppypaw today.
Did. Big win there for MSN up against B, taking down his record.
Yeah.
Shout out to my teammate.
He's been playing really good. Getting a couple wins out of that feels good. We got 2 minutes before we dive in on King of the Hill. The players getting ready. In for a good one. This series, Beasty just got swept earlier today. Wasn't too pleased by that from what it seemed, but who would be? Puppypaw coming off of a good win against Kiljardi. So the momentum, if you think about like momentum during the day, Puppypaw definitely feeling good, is settled in, ready to go. Beasty, we'll see how he feels and how he resets after that loss 0-3. That's a tough one to swallow. What do you do, Myriad, when you need to reset in a tournament setting after taking a brutal loss?
It's tough, right? Like if it's like an opening game, right, in a best of 5, a lot of things can happen in a game that go against you. You make a misstep here and there, you misread a strategy, whatever, and your game down, right? I think it's important in those cases. I mean, something like, you know, for a short walk, some fresh air, just for a couple of minutes is going to help, of course. But also from the game perspective, it's like, if your draft is solid and you're comfortable with what comes from next, you can't let it affect you too much, right? You have to trust your ability and your strategy when it comes to what you've picked and for where you plan to play them to win out in the end, no matter what one isolated game is, right? At the end of the day, it's just one game in a series, so you can't allow it to affect you too much. And sometimes that's very difficult because it might be, with like in the past series, right? It might be a case where you're something like Macedon against Rus, right? And in theory, you should be very heavily favored. So if you take a loss like that, that hurts even more and way harder to recuperate from those.
How hard is it to, rebounding from a game is one thing because you jump right back into it. How hard is it to rebound from a series as a whole that you lose?
Well, that depends on the importance of the series, right? Like if it's in the qualifiers for a tournament, well, that's a rough one, and you might need to take a couple of days off or something, or or determining elimination match. It depends so much on the gravity surrounding the series.
Yeah. Obviously, these series are a little bit lower stakes. Beasty's been playing very well for the tournament so far, but drops a series, gets swept, but back at it again with a fresh chance. Right back to it we go. Game number 1 of our final series we're casting here today. Best of 5, Beasty in the yellow as the Macedonian dynasty, and over here in the eastern corner, Puppypaw in the red, which is only proper for he is playing Rus.
Fitting color for Rus and the Rus map as well. It used to be Highview back in the day, right? But we don't see much Highview anymore.
No, not
Good
recently.
riddance.
But man, of all the matchups to have Roost, this is the one you might not be so happy about. Normally your home map as a Roost player, but going against Macedonian Dynasty, which has been just a thorn in the side for many a player. Sneaking through the draft here. Already onto gold. Beasty starting out his build.
Struggling in this tournament more than expected, though, right? We saw the record earlier, 3-9 currently for Macedonia. Just, I don't think many people would have predicted that one.
I wonder sometimes we get these perceptions of what civs are or how they will act and play. And then sometimes that perception goes far beyond the actual stats. You know, I feel like that's definitely the case with Macedonians. Like they definitely can be very dominant, I think. And maybe in certain instances they are. And obviously, if they're have a dramatic losing record at this level, that means there's something else afoot. Maybe that means there's been some misplays, but over enough data, you'll start to see that. Maybe we start seeing it sneak through more and more. Or maybe it's just that it's new enough. Players don't want to have to do too much work with it just yet. I don't know. There could be a lot of factors into why it's been banned.
There are, right. And it's like, stats can be a little misleading as well because of sample size. I mean, a good example is like a Homestead Cup, right? We had Japanese, I think, like 1-9 or 0-9 record, but then half of those matches were against Golden Horde, which is one of their worst matchups. So it's, and this game, I don't remember what Japanese stats were, but it wasn't as bad, right? It wasn't nearly as bad. So it's like, it can change tournament after tournament, just depending on the map pool, the matchups of players as well. There's so many factors, so it can't always be taken at face value. I mean, if we do, then we have to say Mongols is the best civ in the game, which, you know, yeah, I don't know about that one.
Isn't, but it's good. Yeah. It's one of those things where like I have often wondered how many viable strategies are there per civ in general in the game. And there's a lot of things once the meta gets, this is a topic unto its own, right? Once the meta gets established, it does change over time, but who sets that meta? Oftentimes it's these players right here who are experimenting and building things they think are good, but these are just people as well. I mean, Beasty, Marine Lord, Puppypaw, Lucifron, all these guys, they're really, really good, but they're not perfect and they don't know everything. So the innovation that each player brings to the table, sometimes you see new strats pop up, they innovate something new, and then everyone obviously copycats. It's a copycat, game, essentially. We all follow along with what the best guys do because that's what we describe as the meta, the way to do it. And then you see these like B, for instance, always the Maverick has always come up with very interesting new plays that we just don't see. And then suddenly that becomes a meta unto its own. So I'm often wondering how many civs just need to be figured out. Just need to have, the counter figured out. So I wonder if Macedonians is one of those where they had a really strong strat to start, but the more we see it played, the more it's counterable.
It's all because of the state the game is in now, right? So many civilizations, so many maps, and it's reached a point where the variables are almost endless. It's almost an endless amount of matchups and map combinations in these tournaments, which change every single tournament, and that keeps things so fresh and exciting. And it leads to this case where it's quite simply, even some of the most common matchups we will see played wildly differently from one player to the other, and that is what we're here for.
Yeah, exactly. Man, think back a couple of years when it was only 8 civs starting out in this game. You could count, pretty easily how many different matchups there were. It was much easier to keep track of. Nowadays, with 23, soon to be later this year, 25 different civs. Do the math. There is over 200 plus matchups alone. And then you add in the map factor. There is just so many variables, like you said, into this game. But we'll see how the variables line up here in game 1. Feudal Age is afoot for both players. I see the first Hippodrome Horseman coming out.
Meanwhile, Poppy actually with a early wheelbarrow here, so no pro scouts, no second TC. What's going on? Poppy, were you doing it again? What's the plan?
Might be.
Night opener and barracks. So
I mentioned maybe there'd be a feudal play, and you said no, maybe not, but who knows? Maybe he's thinking he just can't beat the castle timing here.
Well,
but
if it's pro
I
scouts,
wonder if this is going to work.
If Poppy goes pro scouts,
Could
then
be.
this is something he has to do, right? Which I was going to say is possible, but wheelbarrow and double broad axe, I don't know. Looks less and less likely.
Yeah. What is he cooking? Sometimes I wish we could just read their minds. Instead, it leaves us wondering, man, that hunting cabin on the side right there, but it's pretty good. I wonder what the count is on that one. Knight comes in, early Knight here to fend off the horseman and the Hippodrome Scout. He's got enough health, he should be able to deal with that. And sure enough, Beasty backs off. So that one's 29. What's the one above it there? I'll take a look. 25. That's actually less. Oh, because it's in the corner. That's right.
Yeah,
okay.
That's the spot.
Still good
right?
for both. If you're above 20 on both of those, that's pretty good.
That's the luxury of King of the Hill. Nice wide woodlines all across and circling the map. So plenty of gold on offer here for Roos. Now looking to secure this deer pack, which has been very annoyingly spread out here by Beasty. Well done in doing so. And just straight up for the castle for him. So he's not showing much concern for this investment from Puppy in the feud lane. He's still going to stick to the plan and go up. However, that does mean that he has to place his landmark defensively.
Nice kill there. First blood drawn by Puppypaw.
Yeah,
might
nice
get
timing.
I say there was a chance to have two, but he kind of missed it. He still might get the second one here.
Might have three.
He's on the building.
Two, I mean. Oh, that's big.
Could have had three, but gets two. It gets the second one regardless, even though a slight misclick on the house. Quick recovery and able to get some. However, Horseman now, oh, that one's going to go down. Shots from the tower take it out. That second one also in jeopardy. Some good early skirmishing here from Puppypaw.
And Beasty did pick up 2 villages as well himself on Puppy's deer, so...
Oh, he did.
Yeah, hit back as good as he got. This is the issue though, right? The Goldenhorn Tower's forced so defensively. It doesn't even really secure the gold, honestly. Archers can easily hit that gold mine safely. And another charge from the Knight. The body block is going to be there from Beasty's villagers, so he's able to save it, but so much idle time, and another villager will fall.
Another Vill.
This is really painful for Beasty.
You mentioned 3 is the way you need to get 3 Vills is what you need to pay off that that night. I would say it paid off and then some, because think of the delay on this tower. And not only that, but you're also forcing it in the base. We were talking about putting that on top of the hill. Instead, Beasty having to be very conservative with this. That alone is a win for Puppypaw.
This is the type of situation where, like, it seems to me like some Macedon players are more hesitant to invest in feudal than necessary, I think. The feudal age is very respectable and better than Roos, in my opinion, even with knights. Looks like Beasty, though, he just wants to get up, and it's a price to pay, for sure, as another villager goes down. With guys in the Golden Tower, that's going to wipe up everything left here. Puppy is still a little way behind this, though. Starting to wall up.
Securing his flank. Yeah, securing the flank. Doesn't want to have a repeat. Wants to keep that 2 villager lead he has over Beasty at the moment. But now he's down in age. He does, however, have the gold he needs to age up. He just needs to double that food, which coming in very quickly. He'll be clicking up in just a couple of seconds.
Short wall here to block the access to the gold. Gets spotted out. However, the Vill just manages to get away. 1 HP Knight. Barely.
Ooh, yeah, he needs to probably go home and fix the boo-boos, because those crossbow bolts firing out of the tower are kind of a problem. And that Knight will not mend his wounds. He will instead die a martyr right there. But Abby the Trinity coming up here from Puppypaw. He's clicking up, gearing up for the fight ahead.
Abby, even on this map, is very interesting
odd.
to me. Yeah. Like this is the
Why
one
not
map
park
where I
it
feel
on
like...
the wood line? I feel like you could park it on the wood line and just get so much passive gold along with the deer, safe food.
Really
He
makes
must
you
want the relics really bad. Well, and the warrior, I guess the warrior monks as well, getting those on the field. He's probably counting on that to help him win some fights.
They're gonna be pivotal for sure. Saint's Blessing. Massive boost to Puppy's army. 1 health and armor, I believe.
That could be the difference between a
damage
couple
and
units.
armor, I mean.
Yeah, 1 damage and armor, which is still, again, not anything to sneeze at. When you start compounding that with multiple units at once, that can make a difference.
Oh, yeah.
As now both players in Castle Age, so up and going. Beasty immediately takes a look and sees. He knows exactly what is going on now.
Is he still yet to take the site? The first monk is now being produced. Looks like he has some infrastructure set up in the center already, which is a great thing to have early here, especially as the Macedonian dynasty. If he manages to get a tower up and start fortifying with stone, that's going to be a huge boon for him. Still to this day, the Mangonel emplacement, virtually impenetrable. without siege.
It really is. And Beasty, or sorry, excuse me, Puppypaw, really playing defensively here now. He was on the aggressive bit there early, but now walling up a lot, really wanting to keep these Radari and Horsemen and Knights just away from his base. The tricky thing is the front door is still wide open though, so Beasty can still march these right in. He just can't, wrap circles around this base.
Sokoton, it's happening again. What's
that?
Look at this. It's horse archers again.
Oh, it's horse archers again.
They're finding value though. 2 villages go down.
Yeah, took me a moment to comprehend what I was looking at. Horse archers indeed getting some value. Actually, the speed at which they're able to close the gap on the vills. All 3 are going to go down here.
What a play by Puppy though, just completely avoiding the cavalry and moving around to the north to catch this infrastructure, and out of nowhere, -5 villages for Beasty. I mean, it's great read by Puppy, but what is this comp?
Well, again, I'm gonna to reiterate what I said last game. If it confuses us but works, he's a genius. So yeah. We'll see. He's up right now by 7 villagers. He's in a decent spot. The tricky thing is he's playing so defensive. Meanwhile, Beasty claiming the top of the hill. This is called King of the Hill for a reason. I just wonder if Puppypaw is able to gather enough to force Beasty away. You just don't want that sacred site right there to become a win condition. And the timer starts now, 9 minutes, 50 seconds. Mark your watches, everyone. It's not an issue yet, but with those towers popping up, it could be an issue very soon. And that seems to be Beasty's plan.
Indeed, with the site locked in. 25 seconds down already on it. Something Puppy will have to respond to, and sooner rather than later, ideally, because, yeah, you can in theory wait till the last 2-3 minutes, but if you start making your preparations for the actual push then, it's a big delay till you actually are able to get down any significant infrastructure with trebs or rams for that matter, and you'd rather address this ASAP.
Yeah, those 9 minutes trickle down very quickly, I feel like. Right now it's like, yeah, no worries, no worries. This is like that big assignment you have in school where you got to spend the night working really hard on it, but you got like a week or 2 before it comes in. Yeah, no worries, until suddenly it's the night of and you're like, oh geez, I have procrastinated this too far, and then you're just gonna get a D if you're lucky. In this case though, we'll see if Puppypaw makes the difference here and gets on top of it, sending his units out. Spears trying to get on top of Beasty's cav. They're running back. The horse archer's actually able to do some good work here right now. They can close the distance and just keep pestering. Meanwhile, crossbows leading up the rear guard. Beasty moving his crossbows up on top. He's got those towers there. The emplacements aren't up yet. He's fortifying the first one. The fight is on. Spears getting on top of the cav of Beasty. Horse archer's trying to get some damage down. There's not a lot of spears. They're going down pretty quick.
No.
In fact, this is going to be a tough fight. He's going to have to back off of this one.
Yeah, this is the sort of timing we discussed, right? Like, Puppy understands the threat of this position getting heavily fortified, and he wants to nip this in the bud immediately, but it might be already too late, right? There's already double outpost here. Yeah, there's no mangonel emplacements yet, but considering he needs so many unarmored units to deal with the Ridari, they're going to be ripe pickings for these towers. To be fair, he's done a great job with the upgrade advantage of taking out most of the military here from Beasty. He's gonna have a tough time sticking around though. Everything he has is so weak to arrow fire. Beasty though still not investing into archers, surprisingly.
No emplacements on those towers though. One of them is fortified, which is annoying, but Puppy's trying to throw what he has at it. He's done a good job of getting onto the hill. He needs to secure it.
Yeah, you might actually get a decap here. He's just brute forcing a decap.
That's the big thing.
It's crazy.
And that would force Beasty then to get another monk out here, which he's got 3. I don't know what's in those towers. I'm guessing it's all just villagers right now. Don't think there's a monk in any of those. So regardless, able to start taking them down. Now the mangonel emplacement coming in. Will it be in on time? There's a lot of health on that stone and reinforced tower. So there's the monk in there. There was one right there. He goes down, but this is going to get a mangonel emplacement, and that's going to just be absolutely brutal for Puppypaw. Meanwhile, Scout in the north sees something up there happening. Not too much to worry about, but so now we have this ironic spot where Puppypaw is in control of the sacred site, but he is in no means in control of the top of the hill entirely yet. It is not cleared. And now the mangonel tower comes out and starts firing upon the troops. He's gonna spread out wide, but even then, it's half down. Is he gonna have enough? I don't know that he's
I
gonna take a
cannot
lot of damage trying to take that down.
believe that he's like committing to this, and it's actually somehow working. That's absolutely insane. And Beasty's he still has like no units. The 5 villages in that tower is painful, right? So much idle time combined with the massive damage he did beforehand. All because of those earlier picks on the villages by Puppy. The only reason this is possible.
Reinforcements coming for Beasty. The tower does go down. Puppypaw, against all odds, has secured the top of the hill. Man, this reminds me, I've been in a big history buff lately, and I've been looking up a lot of stuff about World War II. This reminds me of Iwo Jima and the Marines taking Mount Suribachi, given that that's just the vibe I'm getting. Like, heavy casualties for Puppypaw to storm the beach, get up on top, gets there and gets it done, though. Not easy. Beasty taking a lot of damage on the end of that, but at the end of the day, Puppypaw is on top of the hill. This is huge. And moreover, the timer is now 8 minutes and 30 seconds in Puppy's favor.
Yeah. Which means that Puppy, with now the site locked in on his own, is going to look to maybe set up his own fortification on top of the hill. Some wooden fortresses would not go amiss, but it's also important to likely keep up the pressure here for Puppy, who's just... I mean, you know, the villager kills on Beasty definitely hurt him, for sure.
Massive, but, I would say, actually.
Yeah, it's huge. But it's also just Rus on this map, right? Like, at the end of the day, they used to be permaban here for a good reason as well. It's just the income is just insane from the hunting cabins. Even without
I think we need to seriously sit down. I think we need to seriously reevaluate how good we perceive Macedonians to be. Because the amount of deference we've been given to Macedonians, maybe it's just being a bit overstated. I don't know. At this level of play, we've seen them not have a good go this tournament.
I think these are a few. I mean, I didn't see all the Macedonia games, but the ones today, there were some sort of, let's say, standout mistakes, I think, that caused Macedonia to end up in this position. Like forced mistakes, of course. People don't really blunder for no reason often. I mean, most mistakes are forced at this level. But that is some part of it. Definitely don't write off Macedonia. Trust me, it's.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying they're not I'm not saying they're not viable by any means, but like the deference we've been giving them might be a bit much. Beasty back to the drawing board here. Both players in age 3. We're almost 19 minutes into the game. Just under 7 minutes now for the sacred site timer. Again, it creeps up on you like a thief. It just kind of out of nowhere. Like, it's not a problem until it's a problem, but it becomes a problem pretty quick.
And I mean,
I like what this is. I like what he's doing here too. Actually,
yeah, I mean,
adding
this is
some more
huge
walls,
value.
claiming more of the map.
Especially because the boar is down here, right? He already has the northern boar secured. If he's able to get this second boar, then Beasty just has a mountain to climb up in terms of how behind he is.
I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
a hill to climb, but we'll call it a mountain here.
It's true. And the crop's a problem too, because like, yeah, Beasty's going into what's very reliable and very strong for Macedonia, Bogmather with the 3 crossbows and as well as the Ridari, but this is not the best cav map, first and foremost, right? But also, as numbers get really high, a lot of crossbows, a lot of spearmen. Yeah, I mean, I guess the Bogmather can sort of ignore armor somewhat, so even if there's men-at-arms mixed in, as they are now by Puppy, it's not going to be a biggest concern, but I mean, you add stuff like the static emplacements on top of the hill working over time for Puppy, as well as Saint's Blessing, of course, which is actively being invested into here by Puppy, even getting the duration upgrade, making further warrior monks behind this as well.
Now, that monk buff, I think we're still understating how important that has been for him to get this position. Like, it's one of those things, it's because you don't necessarily see it. Like, you don't see it doing, like, the unit just kind of just does its buff. But I think the effect that it has had has been really, really good, Puppy. I think it's been maybe even instrumental.
For sure. Yeah, it's just a huge, huge tool to offset the theoretical disadvantage of a weaker military, which is just kind of true. Beasty's looking for a keep drop, and I mean, the mass difference is hilarious, honestly.
It is quite a bit. We'll see if they get that up. There's a lot of villagers on that. And some 20 vills, it looks like, on that. Meanwhile, Crossbow is firing up the hill, trying to get this going on. Puppypaw looking down, saying, it's over. I have the high ground. And game 1 will go to Puppypaw. Beasty with Macedonians can't get it done. Puppypaw pulls off the win on King of the Hill.
Indeed, a very big opening win here for Puppypaw for a multitude of reasons. Not only, of course, the psychological tempo of opening and winning that first game is always a very cozy spot to be in, but also the civs in question. Not only do you use your mid-tier civ on this specific best map here as Puppypaw to claim a victory, which feels great. You can play Rus on other maps, but if you want to play Rus, you want to play it on King of the Hill, of course, yeah. We also take out probably Beasty's best civ in his whole draft. It's a massive victory, so that really dictates the pace for the rest of the series, and Beasty has to think extremely carefully about where he decides to go next. And I think that moment right there with the Horse Archers was instrumental this game.
Yeah. Those 3 vills, that was absolutely huge. Yeah. This play here, too, this just felt very, very strange, but it worked. I think one thing you noticed about the micro of Puppypaw, he deliberately spreads his units out around it at that point. So he was very, very cognizant of the spray that the Mangonel Tower has, made sure to keep his units around it in a circle. You see he's spreading out the units a little bit, trying to keep them away from taking bulk shots, which was able to get that down and take control of the hill. Absolutely huge. We look ahead to the next game, and I've got to wonder, Myriad, it's really possible. Sometimes I've talked about my pitcher analogy, right? Where, once you're in your head, sometimes you just don't have a good day. But sometimes it's just a series thing. Sometimes it's the whole day. We know that these players can get in their own heads sometimes. We know that Beasty can sometimes be prone to that as well. You got to wonder, is he going to be able to lock in, or is he just going to write the entire day off here and start having a rough go? Obviously, he's going to play to win, but you just got to wonder how he's feeling after getting swept in a series and then losing the opener to Puppypaw with what you felt like on paper would be a good matchup. We look at Four Lakes now. He's got a great civ choice. He's got HRE on Four Lakes, which is usually a really good choice. But Puppypaw has an answer in KT, which most people are not going to be quick to write off on a hybrid map like this. Definitely not.
Definitely not. KT is, I think now it might actually be the best on these water maps after the Tuklak nerf. I'm quite curious to see how Tuklak does nowadays. The main thing that made them really strong is gone, right? The additional drop-off on docks. But they still have the great eco. The transition to the wood line is so amazing for them. So I'm curious to see how that will develop. But we're seeing players sort of actively avoid picking it in a lot of these drafts. B did earlier. Was sniped out by Numidan, but we're seeing we're not seeing much Tuklak at all in a lot of these drafts. So clearly there isn't the time for the experimentation there. We'll have to see. But until then, KT is especially on. Yeah, go ahead.
If KT is so good, why snipe Zushi here if you're Beasty?
Zushi's also crazy good, right?
That's the tricky thing, right? When you draft well for this, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like, HR against Jushi specifically, I think is really, really rough as we jump into the game here. Beasty, the color yellow as HRE, spawning the north side of Four Lakes, finds himself a game down now in this series and looks to rely on his tried and true HRE to face Puppypaw's Knights Templar. The fitting color red, spawning on the south side of Four Lakes. Dock opener for him, although he decides to change his mind. Oh no, he went for a house first. Yeah, he makes it at home instead. You have to go house before you go dock as KT. Oh no, he's just going feudal. Okay. He saw the spears.
Saying, nope, never mind. Interesting.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense with the spears, right? It's not worth it to go for the dock in this case. It's going to burn down.
Yeah. You must have just realized, oh wait, BC's playing HRE. I should not do that.
Yeah,
it's fun to see. You can sometimes see the cogs of their brains turning here a little bit. Puppypaw wanting to initially go dock. Nice shout out from Vodka right there. Able to look at you can see that Puppypaw saw the barracks and then was able to pivot.
And that's very important because if you open dock here against spears, most of the cases you will be quite severely behind. or end up in such a position shortly after, once the dock burns down. Puppy's not going to risk that. Still though, he needs to compensate on gold a little harder.
Yeah, Hatville down to half health. It's only one spear. Again, to say my phrase I've been using the last game or so now, it's only a problem until not a problem until it is. Second spear coming in from the north. A most unwelcome interloper.
Meanwhile, Beasty has made
that'll send it back.
Yeah, he's going to gold. Oh, actually, no, he's still too short. Unless that one drops off. Nah, it should be fine. Yeah, okay. It's okay.
Oof. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness, that'd be brutal.
That'll be another minute delay. But
that'd be GG. That'd be like instant GG at that point. It's like, you got me. Oh man.
I know. Maybe, who knows? But Beasty, right? Like he's got Docker behind this. He's gonna be decently happy with this. Like I think this is probably advantageous for the HRE in this position. Question is a follow-up. What's Puppy planning exactly? Is this a counter dock play? Is this actually just straight on land to deny the gold and harass the wood line? Is it just range into like double dock even to try to outboom Beasty's fish advantage? There's a lot of options and they all have their own pros and cons.
Puppypaw going Knights Hospitaller. Again, this has been the meta. I know you prefer going to the Genitors a little earlier, or the Sergeants. So you like the Sergeants too, right? But
I love the Sergeants.
Not the case here. Puppypaw is going to stick to the meta this time, despite maybe being outside of what you expect the meta to be, Myriad, in other games.
This is not right.
So now's the time you want him to go off meta, right?
Yeah, exactly. Only when it suits me.
Only when it suits
and my whims.
Beasty, nice pickup here, able to shoo away the villager. Puppypaw was going to have a delayed dock, and Beasty says, I'm right here, and I am well aware of your shenanigans. That villager should get home. It's going to be close, and it will, but he gets back.
Now, Puppy, dropping a building. Is that the archery range, or do we have that already? Yeah, it's going to be the archery range coming up.
Gotta answer those spears eventually. It's getting a little annoying, I suppose. Ooh, I think he was going for a dock on the other side too, and I think Beasty with one spear has denied 2 docks. On the other side, Vodka down there, yeah, they were coming from down below as well, and that spear also says, hey, I know what I'm going, but he gets it up in time.
Actually got it up. That's insanity. The greed here from Beasty pays off, and he managed to get up the dock. That's huge.
And a body block. Even gets the boar in on it. However, the boar is a turncoat and goes against BC, so that backfires. This pilgrim will make it with a quick jog to the sacred site. Does a little shuffle and plus 104 gold. He says, praise be, and hands that gold to Puppypaw's pockets.
I just read, I said greed from Beasty, but it was actually greed from Puppy. Puppypaw, yeah. Is the KTist. I got the...
forgive you the misspeak.
The other way around last game. Yeah, Mindwalk Palace for Beasty is interesting because, well, it depends a bit on what Puppy goes for in terms of comp, but, I mean, all pikes is not to be underestimated. 2 extra damage on spears and horsemen is huge, and even in castle, steel barding for the knights, additional 2 armor, both ranged and melee. It's very, very significant.
Next pilgrim is almost to the sacred site. That'll be another 103 gold or so. A lot of income coming in here for Puppypaw, just kind of passively. Sends an archer out over here, gonna chop some wood. This is the fun thing about KT, right? Like, you don't need to build, you can just chop wood wherever. You got mobile chopping anywhere you want.
Yeah, this is actually like a huge advantage just for isolated villages like this. It's really good. Even if you're dock dropping, you can just send him on a little straggler tree for a little bit and still get value.
Stable coming up for Beasty. Answer, obviously, to the archers that Puppypaw is making. Dock on the West Lake coming up. That will be uncontested now with the 1 archer to deal with that 1 spear that was wandering around. Meanwhile, back in Beasty's base, Puppypaw taking a good look, has a nice scout around, sees what's happening. Looks like both players are kind of getting geared up and set underway. Puppypaw is going to have a really good economy with this. Having both docks now, he's got some uncontested pilgrims going in. First of the Hospitaller Knights on the field as well.
Beasty does still keep firm hold of a fishing ship lead, 9 to Puppypaw's 5 so far. That is reflected in his food income, a little bit ahead at this point in time, but it definitely has to find some kind of pressure here on Puppy, and that wood line is the perfect spot for it, I would say. So more horsemen would be, I think, a great addition here. You can look to start raiding there. The space is a bit rough for Puppy to add. He doesn't want to, ideally, against just horsemen.
Yeah, not quite the comp he wants to go to. He does have the infrastructure for it, but you really want to be investing that wood into either archers or, more preferably, the fishing ships for the time being.
A second stable coming up for Beasty as horseman production continues. This knight finds a very, very good pick here on the left-hand pond. There's going to be the villager going down, maybe even the archer. Second dock did finish for Puppy, though. He's going to be able to further consolidate the fishing. Oh, there's no way.
Keep it alive. Oh,
wow,
my goodness. He's going to do it. Incredible.
Wow. Oh,
oh my goodness. This is so tight. He does just enough, out healing it. It came down to about 1 or 2 HP, probably 1 HP, given the low amount of health that villagers have. Puppypaw showing us why he is one of the top players of the game. I mean, that was just some incredible micro. Heads up, doesn't lose the Vil, and in fact scares the horsemen away. It does not get more precise than that.
Indeed. That's, I mean, feudal healing enjoyers rejoice right there. Huge. And I think we had all pikes too, right? Can have a look and have a check, but
I'll have to
like
look at the mine work here in a second.
Crazy to me. Yeah, it's kind of wild that it gets out healed by mine work. Okay.
This pilgrim probably going to go down, and does. So, but I mean, I think I'd trade a pilgrim over a villager any day. I mean, the villager's going to give you so much more. All pikes not in yet.
Yeah.
That would have been the difference there.
Yeah, actually would have been. So that makes sense. Yeah. That makes more sense.
So the healing from the Hospitallers is not overpowered. He just doesn't have the upgrade yet. That is a pretty formidable amount of horsemen, though, running around. But the problem is I think Puppy's got a pretty good mass. He doesn't have any spears, but the Hospitallers seem to be just enough for the time being.
Yeah, the composition's way more rounded for Puppy for sure. The mobility question is always there, right? That's always a difficult part playing for infantry. Although the composition looks really good on paper, right? Mobility or lack thereof is going to be used against you by better players, as Beasty's doing right now. And there's a galley up on this eastern pond, wanting to make sure he doesn't get counter-docked. Even has a unit patrolling there, it looks like. I think a single spearman.
That's the biggest fear, right? You invest all that wood, all that gold, all that stuff into making ships, securing the water. You don't want to lose that investment.
I mean, the last save you want to dock drop you is KT, right? With the extra health around the docks. It's if you see a KT dog go up on your side, you just roll your head and cry, honestly.
We call this preventative medicine, right? Like, no one wants to deal with, like, measles, so just get vaccinated in the first place. Just ignore it. Don't have to worry about it then. Exactly kind of what BC's plan here is. Just be inoculated against docks by placing your things on the coast and just not letting it happen in the first place. Meanwhile, a couple spears chasing these away from Beasty. He's got a large mass of horsemen, 16 to be precise, 2 more on the way, but 11 spears, more than enough to keep Beasty away, along with the Hospitaller Knights. Just kind of give him the runaround for the time being.
Yeah, Puppy, though, wanting to push ever deeper here, starting to just ignore the horsemen. Looks to go directly towards Beasty's side, who has been continuing investing behind this, so this is not a ploy by Beasty for a castle age. There's archers and continuous horsemen still under production. Does lose the villager, though. Doesn't quite react in time.
First kill here of the game, and it's going to be more here in a second. Power. We can see emergency repairs. We do. Okay. Beasty forgot about the game before when he was playing HRE. This time he's got it just in time, and a great effect. That's going to keep those villagers alive. Cavalry come in to save the day. Beasty will push this away for the time being.
Yeah, Puppy definitely misread the situation here and is going to cost him his entire army. Yep. He thought there's a fast castle. He thought there's a Burgrave coming, but no. That's the power of cavalry. The ability to control the flow of information. And that's exactly what Beasty has been doing. Puppy expects a Burgrave, discovers the gold, and instead gets the dire news that this has been continual investment all along by Beasty, and his army gets cleaned up completely in return, reset virtually to 0, right as the wood line
so
finishes
terrible.
as well. And exactly when Puppy's preparing a castle transition.
Castle Age. I was gonna say this. He gets caught in the middle at the most inopportune time. He was right there. You see immediately he's just reinvesting a little bit into more units for the time. That was about as bad timing as it could get. And Beasty's been looking for a break all day. First time in 4 games that we've casted, he finally feels like he's on the warpath. Angevin Empire, Puppypaw will have to commit to the age up. Thankfully for him, it comes in just 38 more seconds. But boy, he has got a problem in his front porch as Beasty sending in the archers and is not content to do just a little damage. He wants to really wreak some havoc here.
And even these houses, like, it might not look like Beasty's doing too much here, but these houses going down is pretty massive for him, right? There's a lot of population being stopped here and a lot of further investment into more houses. You can see how Puppy's rushing them. This is horrible efficiency for Puppy, so it's considerable damage nonetheless. And obviously Beasty has to be careful. Doesn't want to get too overzealous with this push. I mean, he doesn't know that Puppy's aging. Maybe he suspects it, but he doesn't know for sure until this very moment.
Regnitz Cathedral coming up. Not even Burgrave. We don't need to have burgers here. Beasty, that just tells me that Beasty is feeling like he's in a very commanding spot right now. And why not? This could give him the economic edge long term. More pilgrims
for sure.
dying as martyrs.
You know, in an age of Burgrave, I'm glad to see Regnitz again.
Yeah, me too. This is a good spot for it as well. I mean, a Burgrave doesn't really profit Beasty much here. He's got units. The horsemen have been winning the fights for him. Why would you transition into men-at-arms at this point? You don't have the economy for it. Just take the Regnitz, get the gold, get ahead, get some upgrades. You'll be chilling. As Puppypaw now heading out, sallying forth with the archers. He needs to get something done. You know, all things said and done, it's only 3 Vil kills to 1, but you just gotta feel like the military loss that Puppy was inflicted upon feels bad. Meanwhile, still has horses in the back of his base. Gold now being pressed. Villagers very exposed. Beasty running past them, avoiding the spears. Some dicey encounters here.
Yeah, he's going to idle out the wood line again, though. Very big gains here by Beasty. First the gold, now the wood, and he's going to trap a lot of the villagers who look to body block the horsemen. He picks up quite a few there, up to 8 kills now for Beasty. He's in a commanding lead in this game so far. Still, huge army presence from Puppypaw even now, and the compositional advantage, as we spoke about before. He has a great answers to Beasty's units.
Yeah, he's definitely still in this. It felt like he was in the lead, and now it feels like Beasty has a bit of an edge. The nice thing is that Puppypaw's food eco has been relatively unscathed right now. He's got maximum boats on both pawns, so he's got probably over 1,000 food a minute right now. So he's able to reproduce these relatively cheap units that he has, and able to deal with the influx of now knights that Beasty's going to be throwing on the field. We see 2 running past this army right here. And then horsemen still in the back. And 8 kills on that last pass by was pretty good. Trying to get some more, but spears running in for the defense, coming right out of the barracks and straight into the fray.
Same time though, Puppy looking to make a mark of his own on Beasty's economy. Starts to push in towards the gold mine, but there's just not the same angle of entry here for infantry, right? Like this, you can't ever really cause the same damage as you do with cavalry. The walls are in position. The entryway there is a choke point that favors Beasty. When it comes to a fight, you can squeeze all of Puppy's troops through it. It's not very easy to approach, although Beasty, running very low on wood, catches the prelate as it's about to deliver the relic. Knight raid as well.
Good raid from the knights. This is what you got to do. Keep the pressure up, turning into a very scrappy game both sides. Lots of exposed economy for Beasty to take advantage of. 12 Vil kills now. You start getting to the point where we're late enough in the game that 12 Vil kills sounds like a lot, and it is, but it's not a devastating number just yet. But if he keeps raiding like this and keeps picking them off little bit by little bit, it's going to reach a very devastating number. At this point, if he can get 20 plus kills before 20 minutes into the game, that's going to be just absolutely brutal for Puppy. Thankfully, though, again, with the fishing eco, you can take that hit to the chin a little bit easier.
It's the power of the fishing on this map as well, right? I mean, you can see the incomes 1.5, 1.5. it's half the food income you'll ever need in a game is covered by fishing. Nice interception there by Puppy. Picks up the 2 knights.
That makes it feel a little better. Losing, is it a couple vills for those knights? Those knights are expensive. And right now, Beasty does not have a ton of gold income right now. Looks like 900 a minute. It's going down a little bit. I think his gold vein dried up. Curious how many relics he has. I know he's got at least 1. Probably has a couple here at this point. 2. Okay, he's got 2 relics. Ideally, when you're playing this HRE with the Regnants, you really want 3 to feel good. 2 doesn't quite pay the bills, in my opinion. Yep. If you get more than 3, then you're usually winning the game, I think, assuming everything else is equal.
So Beasty definitely wants to get his hands on that center one. Puppy's keeps a very watchful eye, though, and plenty of units to spread himself across the relics. It's funny because we're talking about earlier about Burgrave. Burgrave would have been excellent in that position, but
yeah, would have.
But it's Beasty, right? Like if we can go even greedier, why not?
Why not?
Here we go.
A lot of stone here. I expect we're gonna get a keep. Looks like he's got just enough. I wonder where he's gonna pop that one. Is he gonna try to defend the water somewhere? Or is he gonna try and put it more towards the middle?
Ooh, these knights,
well, knights getting trapped on the coast.
Pinched. 2 of them go down. That could have been way worse for Beasty.
Could have been much, much worse. Almost lost the whole lot. Instead, loses a couple. You'll take that, though, as opposed to losing them all. The demo ship came up trying to get a cheeky kill. Meanwhile, the keep here on the south side of Beasty's base in between the lake. Securing that next gold vein. Yeah, he's starving for gold right now. He wants to make this knight composition, but he does not have the gold a minute. The relics just are not enough right now. He's only getting 160 resources a minute from that, as we can see in the bottom of our chart in the bottom left. That's not enough to pay the bills, frankly. You need a lot more.
Beasty, though. I think he has different designs, or maybe it's just a float situation, because that looks like a play for Imp, right? But I mean, he's likely going to sell a lot of that food. Gold very
he's
soon.
Heavy on gold right now, too. 35 villagers on gold. With the keep right there, he's banking on this. And remember, he can choose a cheaper age up if he so desires, but would you rather go Elsbach here?
I mean, it's a better map for Elsbach because you already have so much of your economy set up from fishing. And obviously it's a great defensive landmark. But, I mean, in this position, I think you have to when you're getting pushed like this if you do go for an Imperial Age. But Beasty has to be so careful with this army here from Puppy. He has plenty of horsemen now on the field as well, which is going to do great against his back line. I mean, there's not enough knights here from Beasty to pose much of a threat. Granted, a lot of the heavy spears don't do too much against Beasty's composition, it being primarily range units. Puppy, though, is being very aggressive here. He's going as deep as he possibly can. He wants to get this Regnitz down. And if the Regnitz goes down, the boosted relic income is gone.
He's only got, from last we checked, only 2 relics, though, so not a huge deal. I think he's trying to get back into the eco right now. There's not a whole lot here for him. Meanwhile, 17 Vil kills for Beasty. He's done far more damage than Puppypaw has done. If he loses this army, it could be pretty bad. Wololo comes in right upon the Regnitz.
Yeah, the Wololo backs up just in
almost got
time,
one unit.
But he kills a lot on the retreat, right? That's the thing with the Wololo. Even if it doesn't go off, as the units pull out, a lot of time is bought for Beasty's backline to do damage, but it's just too much frontline here from Puppy. So many horsemen are soaking up a lot of arrow fire here from Puppy, which allows most of his backline to even out with Beasty's own.
The nice thing here is that fighting into the base where all these small choke points are at is allowing Beasty to have a calculated retreat here and to kite as best he can. He's getting his maximum amount of efficiency as he can out of this fight, but now it's pretty much down to the back lines and just a little bit of frontline units from Puppypaw. Some reinforcements coming in here. This is where it gets tricky. Beasty has like the quote-unquote defender's advantage, but when you've got an enemy army sitting on your production, it gets a little more difficult to feel that way. Meanwhile, the Archer Blob here, Expo Blob for Beasty, still alive, but only just. This is feeling pretty dire. Puppypaw now over double the military numbers, and I think this could be it. Beasty caught in between going Imperial Age and just reinvesting into more military. Puppypaw might have had a really good timing on this push.
Yeah, it was very well read. After an unfortunate read earlier in the Feudal Age when he expected Castle Age, but it was in fact not. This time he gets it right. Catches Beasty right as he wants to go age up. And is looking to close the deal in this second game, and is looking closer for it. Still though, The reinforcement line is there for Beasty, right? Everything is in his base, and most of Puppypaw's forces are still in other parts of the map. We see there on the south side next to the keep. There's active wood gathering there by Beasty. That could be a great place for Puppy to strike. It's going to be fine for now.
He's got better eco. Beasty has the better eco. He's done enough eco damage. Puppypaw has 63 units, but I don't see them all here on the screen. They're not with the forward army, so he's forced to regroup. That could buy a little bit of time. The tricky thing for Beasty, though, is he was ready to go Imperial Age, and now that ship has definitively sailed. He is not close enough yet. And right now, Puppypaw still has double the units of military that Beasty does. This is going to be tricky, but with Relic in the tower, get an emplacement on that. Decent spot to hold. He does have the keep as well. Man, Beasty looked really dead in the water for a second, but he didn't actually lose any economy. It was just the military, and he has just enough static defenses to kind of hold on to this. He is, however, as Vodka, our observer, pointing out, running out of gold. Doesn't have that many relics. 700 a minute, not bad, but he really needs a lot more.
He definitely needs a lot more, right? Considering Puppypaw has endless gold income, being KT and now getting his first fortress up, and that's all he needs. KT needs just one site, and they are set for gold for the rest of the game. And Beasty, you can see the struggle, right? He is now far out wide in the south, moving on that gold vein, which, I mean, if he gets away with this, he's got a while left in this game for him still. But the moment this gets spotted, if those villages don't evacuate, the game is over so immediately.
Risky. How many relics does Beasty have? Has he ever gotten any more? Or is he stuck at 2?
Yeah, I think
he did get 3, so he's just gotten a fair share. Man, 3 is usually the minimum, though, right? Like, if you get less than that, the Regnants wasn't worth it. But you really feel like Beasty would have really enjoyed getting number 4 if he could have. Holding over here by the wall. He's got a lot of men-at-arms now, 28 of them marauding around along with 20 crossbows. It's a formidable force. In fact, the numbers are evening out very quickly here. If Beasty can take a good engagement, he'll be back into it.
Still though, right, it's a difficult spot with the men-at-arms. They are amazing for HRE, probably the best in the game. That is with Burgrave, which we don't have. And there's plenty of crossbows here for Puppy to deal with this front line. There are a bunch of Lance Connector mixed in there as well. They're going to do amazingly on the front line here. Puppy might look to snipe those out.
Beasty really pivoted into this men-at-arms build. He put down a bunch of barracks. His own little impromptu Burgrave almost, but at quite a steep cost. Meanwhile, fighting under this tower, Beasty with his back line trying to get some shots. A lot of crossbows, though, from Puppypaw as well. This is a tricky engagement.
Yeah, and Beasty's just losing so much raw value in units every time those backline units from Puppy the crossbows move into position. The struggle of infantry, even here, manifests, right? With the faster move speed from HRE, the kiting is just too strong. These men-at-arms will never connect and deal effective damage. You know, the horsemen can go back and forth to their heart's content. Now, when the front line is thinned down enough, is the time for Puppy to pounce as the horsemen march through and trample past the men-at-arms on top of the backline here for Beasty as crossbowmen begin to fall very quickly. No further front line left for Beasty, only reinforcing spearmen, desperately trying to hold the line for these crossbowmen. Excellent kiting here from Beasty, keeping his backline mostly intact. Enough so that the horsemen end up falling.
I feel like instead of men-at-arms, he really almost could just use a mass of spears. I mean, then the crossbows aren't doing extreme damage at least, and you can deal with the horsemen. But then I guess the hospitalers start kind of piercing through. A tough spot for Beasty. He's definitely not winning this game right now. Puppypaw looking for a way to close this win out if he can do it. He's in a decent spot, commanding once again in the middle of Beasty's base.
Yeah, Beasty has managed to split vills on both flanks now, which, just a little bit of tunnel vision again from Puppypaw in this spot, right? It's so easy for it to happen in these games. When you smell blood, you just want to sit in your opponent's base and hope they just tap out. But oftentimes it's a bit more complex than that, right? We've seen it in the Numudam B game. And we see it now
that gold
as well.
It's just sitting untouched. And now the mangonels. This could be a good way. If he can get a good land, he actually gets the entirety of that consumed up. Not bad. Meanwhile, though, matching that, Puppypaw has all 3 sacred sites, which I'm not thinking so much about. Good pick up here from Puppypaw. I'm not so worried about the timer as I am just the gold influx that Puppy is getting as he just massacres these vills here. Goodness, this is one that they won't forget. A lot of kills to even things out. Beasty has enjoyed a very healthy villager lead for a while, but that one getting evened out a little bit. as now it's Puppypaw, who instead is going to go age up with Kingdom of Poland in 40 seconds. These Mangonels really need to pay for themselves very soon. And even then, I don't know if it'll be enough. Beasty having a hard time winning fights on the battlefield. It's been all in his base, not in Puppypaw's.
Exactly, and the lack of map control culminates in this, right? Now with the age up on the way for Puppy, and still most of the map under his command, able to retreat to the safety of this fortress. So Beasty, especially with this slow composition, now made even slower by the presence of Mangonels, means that he's in no position to ever punish this timing. In fact, Puppypaw is the one who wants to press the issue further, seeping in with a chunk of his military here in the north side, trying to control Beasty's expansion. And the Schlatter immediately in queue, the best anti-range cavalry unit in the entire game. Heavy, at least.
Yeah, it's going to be a problem. Looks like the writing is on the wall here for Beasty. Back door is open. Puppypaw has been flooding units in. He's also pushing forward up the middle. I don't know what he can do. Mangonel is trying to take a shot. The fire. A good hit. Takes down, well, an okay hit. Takes down 2 crossbows, maybe 3. He needs a lot more value out of that to find a way into this game. But down in age with units rampant in his base. Beasty back on the wall here. He's really putting up a good fight. You got to give credit to him, man. He's doing what he can, but in the end, it might be fruitless and probably just futile.
Exactly. Beasty has done an exemplary job of defending for most of this game. It's something he's very well known for, his defense, but ultimately, how much can you really defend when you're so far behind and the time is limited? Now an age behind with no hopes even of getting to the Imperial Age here for Beasty, forced to transition to further farms here behind. But now the Regnitz is almost about to fall.
And behind this, under 5 minutes for the Sacred Site timer. So if Beasty were to stabilize even and just make this a stalemate right outside of his base, it wouldn't be enough. He would need to be able to break out, decap a site, and then still do damage. It's like he can maybe continue to make this dragged out as long as he wants, but I don't know how he's going to come back and win this game. He's got a pretty good mass of units here in front of his base. He's got some static keeps, you know, some keeps for some static damage, able to hold the fort a little bit better. He's got a relic in one of them. So lots of vision, lots of range, lots of defense, but in the end, how does he win this game? The keeps don't decap sacred sites, unfortunately.
No, they don't. Just the execution here by Puppy, attacking from 2 sides, has been so good. Just distracting Beasty. Now this top pond. I think that was the last dock there for Beasty on that pond. So that is half his food income. His already diluted food income is just going to be shaved even further. With Puppy dropping his own dock, he's only going to push his further. Sacred Site timer now on 4 minutes.
It's Beasty, not a problem until it is.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't even have time to age up to the Imperial Age and get any real upgrades here to start contesting this. In fact, it's Puppy who drops double Siege Workshop and looks to make even further space between Beasty's front line and the keeps and the sacred sites. So many Schlatter on the field already.
Yeah, that's a huge problem. Army value definitely skews in favor of Puppypaw, even if the numbers show Beasty. Full frontal assault coming in. They charge after the keep. Fire shots behind that. Remember, the relics are no longer as effective because the Regnitz went down. Their auto repair there. Beasty trying to decap that site, but there's a monk currently sitting on it. I wonder if Puppypaw is going to notice that and take care of it before he loses the decap. It's now 3 minutes and 5 seconds. We are frozen there as the emergency repair is trying to keep this keep alive. Beasty's units coming in here trying to fend off. That keep will stand for a little longer, and now the decap begins. This is actually crucial for Beasty just to keep this game going. That decap is very unfortunate for Puppypaw.
Puppy is so distracted that I think, oh, there's units going, but are they going to get there quick enough? Ooh. Oh, that's so close. That's so close.
Oh, they do. God, oh my goodness. There's literally crazy. Like a fraction of a second. It is, by all accounts, decapped. It does not get closer than that. That is going to be, that is incredible. I mean, we're talking razor thin margins.
Absolutely. That is fractional seconds we're talking about here. That side did not get decapped. Frankly, though, I don't think it would change the state of the game much. Even if it did, Beasty would still be in a horrible position, an age down with no hopes of Imperial Age.
Yeah, that's true. And that's kind of the problem, right? You're still down in age. It would have delayed what is probably inevitable at this point.
Yeah. I think so as well. It's just too much of a disparity, right? I mean, we're dealing with an age behind for a long time now, but it's not just elite upgrades. We already saw Incendiary Arrows is in for Puppypaw. I imagine Biology is either already in or soon to be on the way as well. We can maybe have a look, and yeah, it's in. Of course, it's in.
Already in.
So it's just brutal here for Beasty. Like, it could be pure Cav against pure Space, and the Space would lose right now for Beasty. It's very tough. The Mangonels is sort of the only stopper that prevented Puppy from brute forcing a fight so far. Wait, it's not
And
in?
Puppypaw will be content to sit back on these sacred sites and win the game on the timer count. Beasty really has no answer to this. Most that Beasty could do is delay it by standing on a sacred site and throwing everything else away. He's got a decent mass of men-at-arms, but again, down in age against all the Slokta that's there, doesn't feel good. There's 34 of them. Beasty now angling towards this fortress. Puppypaw, though, fully aware of what's happening, is going to stand his units right under it as well. Incendiary shots going. Hammer frozen at 137. If this fight fails, I imagine it's GG.
Oh, yeah. He's going to be forced out of the game for sure. The Mangonel's taking massive shots onto one spot. A crossbow gets pulverized there, but he needs to spread them out in order to get more damage down, which he now is doing. Puppy doesn't even bother dodging, though, because he understands his muscle is way more pronounced in this fight than Beasty. Is just the Schlatter breaking through effortlessly this front line. Not even barely any fall. Actually, a lot of them do fall, but it's not enough. Beasty calls it. GG is called. Puppy leading 2-0 now in this series up against Beasty.
Boy, not a good day for Beasty so far. It's been rough go after rough go. It feels like even the small things like that decap aren't going your way.
Yeah.
It's tough. You know, I feel bad. You know, it's got to feel so rough when you are on a losing streak like this. You start getting into your own head. Pressure starts mounting. You're on the brink of getting swept again. It's a tough spot to be in. Meanwhile, if you're Puppypaw, it's business as normal. You're having a good day. Won last series. Out to win this series if you can close it out. Beasty's hope now relies on a reverse sweep as we look at Baldland coming up here in a moment. But man, look back at this game. This was a good spot here for Beasty. This was probably one of his best opportunities when he caught Puppypaw out at a great instance. But the follow-up just wasn't quite there. I think KT is just that good, and Puppypaw also able to recover very quickly. Things just kind of slowly started to spiral afterwards.
Yeah, for sure, KT's just amazing on this map, right? And although that was definitely advantageous for Beasty, it's like... I mean, I feel like maybe Burgrave is just necessary here, you know?
It might be. That might be the takeaway there, actually, is that it might be the Burgrave to win it early might be better than letting KT get fully realized.
Right. Because, like, are we seriously, like, is there really a hope, nowadays at least, of HRE outscaling KT on a hybrid map?
I don't know.
I don't see
the funny thing is, we were happy to see Regnitz, you know? We were happy to see it. It felt like when he put it down, and this is the tricky thing for Beasty, is when he put that Regnitz down, you and I both were like, yeah, it makes sense. Like, good time for it. He was ahead. He had the ability to do that. I think the tricky thing is then Puppypaw did an excellent job of not letting Beasty get more than his fair share of the relics.
Right.
Because if Beasty gets, 4 or 5 relics, I think this might be a different game. He only got 3, and after that, it was after a lot of fight and struggle. He was sitting on 2 for a while there. Took a while to get that 3rd one in. By then, Puppy had already edged out a bit of a lead. So, it feels like maybe the earlier payoff with a short-term burger might have been better in looking back. But in the moment, the value that you could have gotten out of the Regnitz seemed good. It just wasn't able to capitalize on it, unfortunately, for Beasty.
I was gonna say no to a burger, right? Like it's what you want. It's what you deserve.
A burger, right? A cow apparently says no to a burger. I guess he doesn't appreciate us eating beef. Where's my confetti cow? Come on.
Well,
nothing. There we go. Thank you, cow. Shout out to our production crew, by the way. Vodka, our excellent observer, helping us out, as well as Cow, whispering into our ear from from time to time with some factoids that we get to share with you guys. And game 3 coming up.
Game 3, and Beasty's last chance in this series to make a comeback. And granted, it's a good situation for it, right? We have French on one of their best maps and one of the best civs in the game, facing Lancaster, who is not one of the best civs in the game, but it's trying. It's trying its best, right?
Okay.
And it's getting there slowly. It's looking scarier and scarier. Problem is, right, I mean, what B did earlier in the opening series today, the 2TC looked beautiful, right? It was very well played.
I think that's the meta, honestly. I think that is what you should do. Can you do it against French, though?
That was also against French, but this is completely different map entirely, right? Like this is Boldland. This is so wide open. It's prairie-esque in how open it is, almost. This is historically, like notoriously, not a 2TC map, right? So I'm curious, how's that going to go?
I feel like I've seen, I think even last weekend we saw Lancaster on a map. Maybe it was Dry Arabia, but I feel like I saw it on Baldland. Lancaster getting away with the 2TC play. I feel like there's something about it that's really good, but we'll see. Beasty with French is no pushover either. Despite having now lost quite a couple of games today, still has a chance, until the final bell is rung. Still got a chance to go out there and take the reverse sweep. It'd make for an incredible series if he does. Meanwhile, Puppypaw hoping to close this one out right now and just leave it at that as he goes for the Dark Age Barracks. Puppypaw in the red as House Lancaster, and over here in the western corner, Beasty yellow again as the French.
Bold landmarks, potentially the final battlefield of this series. But not if Beasty has his way. With the wheelbarrow opening on the berries. Quite standard here for him. Puppy though, with a little spear rush. Which shouldn't be too big of a concern to Beasty. Which, he's got to scout it immediately. There's a few responses you can do here as French. Classically, you would just pull off of gold and be content with not having gold until you have archers. But nowadays, I'm not sure who's the first to do this. I want to say I was told Lucifron, but that's not fact-checked. You can do, of course, the tiny walls around the gold mine to prevent any kind of entry from the spears, and that's even better. It's even better than a tower, right? I mean, it's so good. The spears would be virtually useless on the gold mine. You delay yourself a tiny bit as the French, sure, having to gather some extra wood. But looks like Beasties doesn't care. He's not going to go for it. He's just going to age up quickly and go off of gold. So this is what leads to the fastest age up, but there's no gold, so.
Spear arrives right on schedule. It's a nice poke. It's a nice second poke. Second spear coming in right behind him. As is typical, the first one walks home. Second one's going to walk home here in probably just a second. Oh, sees the second one, and then they're both going to bail. Last two to bug out. Bug out. And he's got just enough gold to get up. So the spears will go ahead and focus then on the mining camp. We've seen this play out a couple of times today. Standard stuff. Usually 3 is the amount that they build as far as spears go, and they usually stop at 3. Looks like Puppypaw will do the same.
I'd say it's usually 2, but Puppy does go up to 3 this time around, which...
I've seen him do 3 often enough. I've seen 3. We've seen actually up to 4 in some Dark Age rushes, but 2, 3, somewhere in that. I feel like either works. Not a huge investment, right?
I do like this because this, like, what Puppy's going to look to do, what it looks like he's going to do is he's just going to place it on the northern gold. He knows his opponent. And I definitely would not put it past Beasty to just sneak there while aging up and make a tower. That is definitely something Beasty would do, and some others as well, but Puppy should be aware of this, so the extra spear is going to be very helpful in that regard to make sure that does not happen for free.
The nice thing about going for Dark Age spears against French is, 1, you are slowing down that knight, but 2, you start out with spears already. Like, it's kind of nice. You don't have to be as cautious on the map knowing you've already got the counter ready to go. Now, of course, Beasty with French is going to add some archers eventually, so that will become an issue. But for the first couple of minutes, it puts you in a pretty safe spot. Even though it does slow down your feudal timing, I feel like you can get quite a bit of value out of by doing this.
And Lancaster Castle on Puppypaw's side. It has been So very, very long since we have last seen this landmark. Although I think this was played last weekend, if I'm not sure. Maybe I'm misremembering.
It would have been probably on Sunday, not Saturday. I don't remember casting it on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing it either. And I was casting Saturday, so...
Okay.
No.
Or Sunday,
wait.
so then...
Oh, I was
so
casting
I
Sunday,
didn't see it
right.
on Saturday and you didn't see it on Sunday, then I guess it didn't happen.
Maybe. It was just the
So it's
Lancaster
happening
castle
now.
of our imaginations. But it is happening now. You're right. And
Happening now.
why is my question?
Well, to me, it says that he's... I don't think then he's going to be going for... he is on stone, is he? He is on stone. So...
I mean,
guess
that's the
stone
funny
is probably
part.
Just for the manor? Just for the manor, right? He's not going for a 2TC then.
I wouldn't think so. No, he's actively gathering gold. There's no way this is 2TC.
Yeah.
That'd be
So it's
crazy.
just for the manor then.
Yeah. Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah, so I guess to your point, you mentioned it's kind of a bad map to go for the 2TC build. Normally, if the other landmark, we've seen 2TC come out. So for this one, I guess people has something else in mind.
I mean, this could... I'm starting to feel like this is probably just a one mana, like very old school, kind of like how we used to do 3 mana FC at Lancaster release. This is I think going to be like the new version of it, which is like 1 mana FC here with the castle. And I mean, that's kind of the only thing Lancaster was able to do in this matchup because it was so bad for them back in the day. So, bit of a blast from the past, it looks like to me. I mean, it has to be, right? He's off of wood now, so
Yeah.
there's a delay on the
Must
gold,
be
so there won't be as... Yeah, there's not going to be a night timing to dive here, not as early at least. So this makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense.
I agree. I like the Dark Age aggression into Fast Castle because it gives you a little bit of units just to kind of be responsible with, and you're being okay. Then you're kind of you're delaying your feudal, but then springboarding into castle. I actually like the timing of this quite a bit. Whether or not it works long term, we'll see. But so far, so good for Puppypaw. I think this is a decent build. I'm kind of excited to see how it pans out, honestly.
If we go by historical measurements, then this is going to end very painfully for Puppy, because what this often led to is Lancaster is able to get a job, that's fine, and they can get the White Tower on the first gold vein, and they get knights, that's all well and good, but the issue comes is that French just simply stays feudal, has double the amount of knights that also heal, and now you can't heal because you have Lancaster Castle instead of Abbey as House of Lancaster, right? And the death comes at the second gold. When the first gold runs out for Lancaster, they would move on to the second, and by then French is either aged up or they just are still feudal and they just have way more. And Lancaster died that way, I want to say like 3 or 4 times at least in pro games, the exact same way. So we'll see if that's similar today. Beasty
definitely a
should.
risk.
Thing is, yeah, like I'm sure Beasty knows this and remembers this, but in game it's different, right? In game it's very different for you to actively think back on this and consciously remind yourself in game that this is how it went. So we'll see.
A little bit of pressure here from Beasty, taking a look at that wood line. Now, there is that gold vein to the south of Puppypaw's base as well. So I'm thinking long term, if he can build out towards that way, maybe wall that in. It's not inconceivable, right? He could definitely build that way. Meanwhile, trying to fight this off. Archer now able to deal with some spears. This is a problem for Puppy. He has no other military but 3 Dark Age spears and half health at that now. This is not looking too good. They're trying to chase him away, but now taking some chip shots on the villagers. They actually short bow back. Oh, lest we forget that the English arm every civilian with the short bow. That was a decent amount of damage. One more shot like that would probably kill it. He goes for it. The shot, the fire. Oh, man, goodness. Down to 5 HP. One more vill would have been the difference there.
Well, now we know it takes 14 villages, or 13 villages, to one-shot a spearman, an archer. No, 14. It's 14, actually, because there's 7 that shot first, then 6, and it was still alive, so...
You're one more.
There you go, folks. Trivia.
Trivia. Learn it. Use it. Take this knowledge. Be better for it.
And this is exactly what we used to see. It's either White Tower, but sometimes players got greedy and they went for King's College for that Collar of S's promise where, oh, my knights are going to be better, than the French knights, so I can get away with this. It never worked. It never worked.
Well, Puppypaw is going to try and make it work here. Knights dive in. The spears have given their all for their country and die heroes. Meanwhile, Beasty uses an archer for it. but he's got a pretty healthy mass. 13 military units, not a single military unit on the field of play for Puppypaw right now. He is banking on his town center fire and a lot of greed to pull him through.
The sheep are running dangerously low here for Puppy as well. The villagers barely have space. They actually don't all have any more space to go around the sheep, so it's going to put some extra towards the gold, which is already probably slowly starting to run dry. I think we're below 2k by now, I would assume. Oh,
no, not too much actually.
I'm very wrong.
Leeway there. Mir, don't listen to Myriad, everyone. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I say completely tongue-in-cheek. You're a wealth of knowledge. But in this case, he does have some gold left over. He's gonna have to move on to the berries. You know he's desperate when he's on to the berries. Meanwhile, like a shark in the water, swimming around, Beasty has his knights patrolling. And even this lone knight out here, not able to do much as two more find him right away. You just know that Puppypaw would love to get a raid on the gold of Beasty, slow this attack and onslaught down. Unfortunately for him, it's not to be today.
Definitely not to be. Beasty, I'm going to pile up a little bit of food, but more knights in production now. That's definitely what you want to do. Color of S's now on the way for Puppypaw. An additional +5 damage to against heavy units on these knights.
That's good. That
as
would
well
be great.
As the demi-lancers.
If he can get the units, though. I mean, it'll compound to be excellent, but he's got to survive for another couple minutes here.
He does.
He's kind of playing with his food, though. He's not really diving in. Okay, now he's looking for a hit over here, but doesn't have the numbers, really. Might get a Vil, doesn't. 2 knights is all it takes to push them away. Those knights of Beasty not at full strength right now.
The important thing is... yeah, go ahead.
I'm getting like worried that Beasty's taking too long to make anything happen here. If he gives Puppypaw enough time, this will pay off.
Yeah, I'm starting to get very worried as well, because looks like Beasty's very split between do I age up or do I not, and that indecision in this matchup especially, like I think there's only one right choice, but like that indecision normally can cost you extremely in these pro games. So I really wish Beasty just keeps investing here, because I feel like he has to. The only way this pays off for Lancaster is if Beasty just sits back and ages up.
Yeah, I mean, Puppypaw at one point had no military units at all. All he had was the short bows and the TC. If Beasty had just been flooding knights at that point, they would have been free reign. There was like nothing that Puppypaw was going to be able to do about that. It looked like he was going to be dead in the water. Instead, now he's got a healthy knight presence of his own. Remember that Collar of Esses is in. So these knights hitting a little harder against heavy units, so they're going to pound for pound win against their counterpart, the French knights. This is suddenly looking okay for Puppypaw. I think he's in an all right space. If he can move down to that gold a little bit, that's now the next concern, right? Is can he maintain gold? But if he starts building down that way, I think he'll be okay.
Beasty did split off a couple of knights here to go towards that gold. There's going to be a key detail, but he's losing a lot of them here in this engagement. That's what you really want to avoid as Beasty. Your knights can heal, but Puppypaws cannot, and that's so important to keep these knights alive as Beasty. He's going to discover the second gold, though. Or, well, the berries, actually, which Puppypaw is on. And, I mean, this food has to be raided by Beasty. We really have to find some damage here, I think, because his knight count is getting worrisome for Puppypaw, and they're so much better than Beasty's. However, we have our own concerns as the day once again is idled, and, I mean, there's more knights here from Puppy. That's not where you want to be as Beasty.
Losing some. Going to lose these archers as well. Archers all go down. One knight leading the charge up front. Very zealous fighter up there trying to save his buddy. He does. Gives his life for it too. Very sad. But the other knights come in and now are chasing Beasty as they're routed back to base. Goodness, this is not going great. There is a knight, however, in the back of Puppy's base patrolling around those berries looking for more kills.
Another charge ends up downing another knight.
I'm thinking this very well could not go Beasty's way. Puppypaw having plenty of time to keep going. Now idling Beasty's economy. Puppypaw is paying a price for this, however. Losing a couple knights. Dropped 3 right there. Dropped number 4 on that edge on that point. 3 more knights at half health. But back at home, things are going well for Puppypaw. He's undisturbed. He's got a couple knights that have been patrolling, but he's got units dealing with them. So as you can see, yeah, being dealt with, not too dangerous. It's 5 Vil kills to 3. So all things being equal, it's a pretty even game. The continued disparity in the build numbers is a little bit more to deal with the faster production time of villagers for Beasty.
Puppy's struggling a bit for resource access though, right? Like we see his Night Edition has slowed down quite significantly. Beasty's raids did do a lot for him in that regard. Now forced to actually add some spears on the defense, which is going to be good against the raids. Just a few here is going to be really nice for that southern gold, as well as berries. Now the guild hall on the way for Beasty. So you can see, like, this is not a horrible spot for Beasty right now, right? Like, even though I disagree with his overall strategy for the game, I think he handled this really well in terms of raids, which I mean Beasty does excellently, right? He's always been a masterful raider, and has done so again this game, keeping himself in it. And that's going to be a very big boon for him. These spears are only feudal age.
Yeah, so I was going to say this. You just took the words right out of my mouth. These are only age 2 spears, and they drop like it. Meanwhile, some villagers getting caught out. This is not good for Puppy. You need to play a very precise game here to get ahead. He was doing okay at the beginning, but these raids, Beasty now doing what French does best, and they are running circles. Insert the Benny Hill theme here. There's just nowhere for them to go but back to the base. It's a lot of knights in the back corner.
Indeed. And they're going to get chased, but it's a lot of pressure here on Puppypaw's side that he's kind of struggling to deal with. Trying to find his own damage on Beasty's side, but he's out-knighted in count there, as Beasty looks to go for his 3rd gold mine. Actually, no, his 2nd
The biggest issue for Puppypaw right now is he does not have food access. Has been a problem. He's got 21 on food right now, but you can see the income a minute. It's tricking back up, but for a while there it was pretty low, pretty down low. Meanwhile, Beasty sitting at a comfortable 1,000 a minute. Gold is what he's working on right now.
Indeed. He's also spread out all across the map, right? We have deer operations in the north, in the south. They were in the center as well. Beasty has all the map food that he could desire, and it's reflected in his income, allowing him to keep that night count high and fight an age down, whilst also getting a respectable age up timing in.
But I wonder if this age up from Puppypaw, it's not the age up I have a problem with. I'm wondering if not going for the, I don't know, maybe he should have gone for the other option. I just feel like maybe he was a little too greedy here. I don't know that's going to pay off in time. He's going to be caught without food in a second. Maybe he should have gone for more manors and farms. I just got to wonder, like, what else can he do? Right now, he's taking some good fights, though, cleaning up what's left of Beasty around his base, trying to buy himself some breathing room, which he desperately needs. He's now on that back gold as well. So,
yeah, I just think it's just a really hard matchup for this map, especially, right? It's just like we can't go to TC here, so that's out of the equation. So this leaves you with this as the only other play, sort of old school Lancaster, because you're not going to go King, Lords, and Aggression with the last players. It's not going to work, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So this is kind of your only option. I think, yeah, it's tough for him to pivot into anything else, really. He's done a decent job with it, but obviously he's sort of fighting upwards in terms of matchup. Beasty is, of course, excellent on French, so he's keeping Punny on his toes.
Now, behind this now as well, we've got the guild hall, which, again, in the early stages, the investment there is not going to compound quite yet. But Beasty now has the ace up his sleeve. He can eventually just click up into Imperial Age. Meanwhile, though, Puppypaw getting some good raids back. They've both been doing a good job of raiding the other. So 8 to 5 Vil kills evens things out. That said, Beasty up by 10, mostly due to the virtue of his faster production speed. But a lot of knights here, 20 knights to 14. And now some Arbitrae coming out for Beasty as well. This could be the huge difference maker.
Yeah, the army value count is just so much more in favor of Beasty right now, and the guild hall is ticking. The fact that he's able to still command the map at this point doesn't look great for Puppypaw, although he could have a nice find here if he only happens to stumble across it. We have Demi Lancers! It's been so long! Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
5 Demi Lancers on the field of play. Haven't seen those in a little bit of time.
It's been 84
years. It's turning into a bit of a
years.
scrappy game.
Yeah, now this mana, almost useless mana, is going to get torched down. And now Puppy's food situation is getting worse and worse,
It's
right? Now the
dire.
berries
It's
are getting
getting dire.
idled. And there's so little wood as well to transition to farms, way harder than any other map.
This is why French is so good on this map, right? It's open, easy to raid. There's lots of, you get on the deer early because you don't have to worry about pressure early, which just kind of lets you springboard ahead of your opponent, especially when your opponent's sitting on, you know, berries. Wolo attempt to scare away the knights. That'll temporarily push them away. Almost right into the other vills, though. Boy, playing with fire. Puppypaw is kind of teetering on the ropes, it feels like.
Oh,
getting some raids of his own, though. A huge raid on the gold behind all of this, unseen by Beasty until it's almost too late. That's going to even things out a lot more. But will it be enough? Because on the other side, Beasty giving it right back to him. 15 to 16, both sides doing massive punches to the other.
And this happens so often, right? The back and forth with villagers. One side gets a big hit, then the other's army finds a big hit. But there's always a key detail in these exchanges, which is, well, one player can actually win against the other's army and one can't. And I don't see Puppy really beating Beasty's army at this stage. And with these villagers present here,
oh dear.
No. His have
Puppy
short
is
bows
desperate
though.
for food.
There's way more. Oh no.
That is
my food.
That is quite funny. They'll get avenged by some knights here in just a second, though. Meanwhile, another fight down the middle, going very well for Puppy, or sorry, Beasty. Spears though, trying to take some chunks, but now the knights on top of Puppy's vills. That's got to be a death blow right there. That's so much damage coming in.
Yeah, and doesn't even notice.
Puppy hasn't even seen it, and then I think he noticed it and had the GG. That will do it. Beasty breaks the losing streak. Manages to get a point on the board and takes a win, a much needed win. That's got to feel really good after the last couple games.
Indeed, and sometimes this is all you need, right? One single win like this for Beasty could be a whole psychological shift for him, allowing him to have a resurging confidence in this series and maybe come back. And wait, is that accurate? Is that actually the upcoming game? So we have confirmation.
That is the upcoming game. Malians versus Order of the Dragon on Lakeside. Boy, that is going to be very interesting.
Okay, we need to check the other civs. How has it come to this, right? So we're going to have a look at the draft shortly to see why Malians is the choice. Here's the thing though, right? Like Malians on Lakeside, and we've seen this with Malians on Frisian as well. It's not great, right? Like, it's not great. The map is definitely not in their favor. But at the end of the day, it's still Malians, right? Like, it's still Malians. Yeah. So once the cows are online, that's going to be a ridiculous amount of food. And Lakeside especially, right, there's very few fish. There's 2 deep sea fish aside and a couple of shoreline. So in theory, this could actually be very intelligent here by Beasty, depending on how the game progresses, because Puppy is just going to invest into fishing, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Beasty completely ignores it, doesn't even go for a dock maybe on his side, and that extra time, it could be,
that
right?
would get him up in age a lot faster,
right? Like it's going to buy him a lot of time. Like by the time Puppy's up to the feudal age, Beasty could have 3 ranches full of cows, right? I still don't think it's optimal, right? Like I don't think this is the right great thing to go for here. We don't see this for a reason.
Civs, though.
Here we go.
What's the better choice? What's the better choice here? He's got Malians, he's got Sengoku Daimyo, and he's got Golden Horde. Obviously, Mongols is going to be the other offer you put out there, but it's never going to get through.
You would have loved to have French here, I think, as Beasty, right? Like, I don't know if that was the idea originally, but outside of HRE and Mongols, that's the only other civ he has that can actually play this map effectively. But he used it for Boldland, so it results in this. Yeah. That's the thing about drafting, right? This is something you have to be very careful about.
Well, especially with 2 water maps, right? Like 2 water maps, not 1. That really changed the dynamic.
But this is definitely a big spanner in the mix here. I don't think... What Puppy might have expected is just looking at the picks, he thought, well, what's he going to pick? It's definitely going to be Mongols and another civ that doesn't fit here. But what does he expect into the strategy? He has absolutely no idea, right? Is there going to be a dock from Beasty? Is he just going to ignore it? You just don't know. Is it going to be the old transport ship play with Donzo?
Oh, I was thinking that the moment I saw Malians, that's what my brain went to. I don't know if that'd be the way to go on Lakeside. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze, so to speak.
Yeah,
but maybe I could see the no dock play. But I almost feel like that's not going to happen because I feel like these guys just never don't play water. It's so rare that you see them just completely ignore it. It's such a interesting choice if they ever do. I don't know if Beasty would be willing to forfeit that, but maybe he will. I mean, why eat fish when you can have beef? I mean, that's a very good argument in my book. That. I mean, don't let a cow hear that. Yeah, sorry, cow. Just cover your ears. It'll be okay.
Maybe he wants to hear that. You never know. You never know.
You never know. Cow is an interesting person. You never know. We got a minute and a half before we dive in. Boy, what a series. Good for Beasty for getting a point on the board. You just got to know. I mean, we've been talking about the psyche of the players here earlier. Getting that first one. I mean, the reverse sweep can't happen until you get that first win. Now the reverse sweep gets suddenly much more reasonable. You just got to win 2 in a row. That's reasonable. So we'll dive in here in just a second. But looking at the group standings, Puppypaw obviously with doing an incredible job so far. He's doing really well. Also, Lucifron, our other one to note, doing very, very well. 4 series 2 loss. Puppypaw 4 series 1 loss. Obviously, depending on the outcome of this series, we'll shake things up just a little bit.
Louis struggling just a little bit here in his returning debut, so to say. Not quite up to his previous standard. Of course, it's his first tournament after a long break, and now he's below the elimination threshold.
When he's good, man, he is the best. Like he when he was on fire for that stretch last year, goodness, look out. That guy was crazy. Not so much this year, though. But standings in Group A. Taking a look at things here. No surprise to see Wham and Vortex and Marine Lord, all 3 of them doing just incredible so far. And it's also having a good go thus far.
Followed by Kiliardi, Demo, Voldi, and Gully. Game.
We dive in, however, to another match point game. It's do or die for Beasty. Puppypaw tried closing it out last time, couldn't quite get there. Has another opportunity here. We go with game number 4. Beasty with the yellow Malians up here in the north side. Already getting the pit mines going on. And in the south side, Puppypaw in the red again. This time as Order of the Dragon with the early dock to boot. And so far, Nirad, you've been correct. No dock just yet from Beasty. Perhaps he will just eschew the fish or the beef.
Indeed. And it makes sense. Ultimately, what you're really fighting over, 1 deep sea fish, Mali doesn't care. So it's probably not worth the investment in the first place, and he agrees. What's the follow-up going to be, though? I mean, Beasty's going to age up way earlier. Is he going to just look to put on the pressure immediately? Or maybe even to go for a dock timing with an earlier ship? Although that would be... I don't think that's worth it.
I don't know if that would feel good. I mean, maybe just... Yeah. Pressure. Just go. I mean, just say screw land. I'm just going to win it, or screw water. I'm going to win it on the land first, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, play to the strength of the Civ. Build those units. Send them across. The tricky thing is with Order of the Dragon, you can't go as wide as you'd like. So for every ship that Puppypaw puts into the water, that could be less units he has on land. I mean, that could be helpful to Beasty here. Keep those numbers way, way down and manageable on the land, and if he can time it right, do some good work.
Beasty recognizing the fact that, of course, Puppy is going to invest into that dock and fishing ship, so nothing stopping him from chopping a bit of extra wood, enough to drop not only an additional house, but also the mining camp itself. So he's going to have an immense amount of gold to work with upon hitting this feudal age. Good up for wheelbarrow, double broadaxe, as well as cows. You can see, like, Malians is not the best. It's definitely not the worst idea here. There's a lot going for them. It's very similar to Frisian. You have a lot more time afforded to you, but unlike Frisian, there's way less fishing here, so it makes even more sense, honestly.
Outside of like the 2 deep sea fish nodes, like that is a lot of food, but it's really not that much. Yeah, especially when you compare it to Frisian marshes. Of course, the difference being in Frisian marshes, you have to invest a lot more in the docks to get some of those fishing returns, as opposed to you're on lakeside. But Yeah, I think there's definitely a argument to be had that the land play can work. We'll see. At least that's the argument so far the Beastie's playing and giving us. So we'll see if that pans out. We are now underway here. 3 minutes in, Beastie going up with a Mansa Quarry. No surprise. Aachen Chapel coming in from Puppypaw as Order of the Dragon. You don't often see Order of the Dragon Aachen Chapel, but I think it makes sense here given he wants to stimulate the wood economy to kind of keep boosting himself up and keep that fishing going.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense on this map with the way the woodline and gold always spawn, right? Very hard to pass up such a juicy of an Aachen. It is only a small gold after all, though. 1600.
Yeah, only 1600. But the wood still there. You still have the food under the TC for the time being as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting because in this game, it really feels like the initiative is on Beastie's side to do something. Puppypaw is going to just slowly scale and eventually build units, eventually do his thing, but it's really on Beastie to make something happen with the timing. Although, in a bit of a twist of irony, Puppypaw is age 2 before Beastie is.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder why. It's, I guess Beastie is aging up very slowly, to be fair. Like, he went for a super delayed start with the extra house and the pit mine, and he's also only aging with 4, which makes me wonder what's going on. Okay, so we have triple cow ready for the ranch already. We saw all that gold being spent. Beastie could honestly even go for the large pit mine towards the west there. I think that could be great. Yeah, you can see the mind games. I mean, Puppy's even investing into a galley for absolutely no reason.
In for a penny, in for a pound, says Puppypaw. Securing the water, not going to let any sneaky shenanigans happen. But yeah, little does he know, there's nothing coming yet. He's sending a scout over. He's going to find out about that too. I wonder if he'll have time to cancel it if he gets over there and notices no dock, or if he's going to just commit. Nope, too late. It's already there. I'm sure he's maybe kicking himself now, though. In about 10 seconds, he's going to be like, dang it.
Yeah.
Right now.
I mean, if he transports ship across to drop a dock here of his own, then that makes you feel less bad, because then the galley keeps the villagers safe, and there's some value there, but
still,
it's still not
coping.
Great. Yeah, we're coping. Just
we're
just
coping
a little cope, yeah.
That Aachen Chapel is a pretty nice placement as far as Order of the Dragon Aachen Chapels go. It is going to be an archery range to start out here for Puppypaw. 5 cows now for Beastie.
Yeah, and he's going for the big pit mine. Honestly, I really like this from Beastie. This is like every beat has been hit, I think, for how to actually make this work. Very, very impressed by it so far. Of course, the follow-up is the question. What's going to be next for either player? And I'm sure both of them are a bit confused, actually, as to how to proceed. Like,
probably. Probably some,
are you
like,
making
what
units?
now?
No? Should I make units? I don't know.
Reminds me of that, like, SpongeBob meme. It's like, what now? It's like, I don't know. I didn't think I'd get this far.
Yeah.
Not sure what to do yet. Puppypaw just kind of patrolling the back line there with his ship, not allowing anything else to happen. This is a great pit mine for Beastie. This is a big boon. And, knowing that you're not on the water, knowing that your opponent has probably invested a little bit more into the water, it gives you a chance. I mean, that galley really did give a nice opening for Beastie just to pop that pit mine out there hidden. And one thing we've got the God vision, but let's not forget the stealth forest along the southwest line is all the way down and across. You got to be across that wood line to get in there to see this. It's very tucked away, very hidden out here.
Exactly. Was potentially worried about a stray horseman from Puppypaw, but as you mentioned, he invests into the galley instead and actually has different plans altogether. It's just straight to castle for him. And Beastie actually pulls off of gold completely here. I think he's
getting 600 a minute.
Oh, I think the single archer pushed him off, and he might have misread the situation as a result. Or maybe not. He just wants to get the one sofa out. I think Beastie knows what's going on here.
Probably can smell the Castle Age coming as well. Looks like it'll be a gentleman's agreement to reach Castle Age first from both players before really diving in. It's going to be the Burgrave for Puppypaw, so we will get a burger eventually.
And the Burgrave, of course, a bit threatening with the possibility of men-at-arms, especially considering there's already archers on the field, so no easy pivot into double, triple racks here to take care with Musafadi. Beasty,
Well, he's got a pretty good healthy bank of gold right now. He's got 329. That'll go a long way.
Beasty's still so far from the age up, right?
Yeah. Now that cow investment takes some time to pay off.
So far taking plenty damage from the archers. These are gilded archers. Huge attack speed. I think an extra half a range too, if I'm not wrong. Or is that just the crossbows?
I'm not sure. It says
it is extra. Yeah, 550.
Oh yeah, an extra half tile of range.
It's pretty big, honestly.
That's fun. No, it really is. I mean, that's one of my favorite things about English longbows when I'm playing with them. When I'm not playing as English with the longbows, it's horrible, but that extra range is very noticeable.
So good. Range and speed. Some of the best stats on units.
Underrated too, I'd say. Beasty with 20 of 20 cows. He is fully cow boomed, but the timer is ticking here. Puppypaw is gathering up and massing up some military units. He's walking across the map. Things could get pretty interesting in a minute. I'm curious when this Burgrave's going to feel like it really starts spamming out units. First of front wave, reach it to Beasty's base. They're going to step in.
Yeah, the timing here is very tricky here for Beasty, right? I mean, he wants to go up, but the units are coming so quickly because of that Burgrave. Of course, the fishing is still present there for Puppy. He still gets good income from it. Aachen, of course, is going to always be a massive economic boost. Puppy actually didn't opt to go for another dock on Beasty's side, which might be a good choice. You know, you still don't want to let Mali have free reign with cows at the end of the day. Now the pit mine is under threat. Beasty slowly working his way towards that age up, but still some ways away. Yeah.
Once he gets there, it's going to be 0 to 100 really quick. Beasty's primed for it. He just needs more time, a little time, and then this can pay off. Grand Fulani Corral placed down. He's got 20 cows around it. Meanwhile, the first house on the pit mine goes down. Is this going to work? The $1 million question.
Yeah, I don't know, right? Like, it's such a big delay. I mean, the Fulani's only now going up. Just look at the military presence from Puppy already. These are OTD units. Keep that in mind. He's going to get every relic as well. And Puppy, yeah, he's going to have his... Beasty, I mean, he's going to have his dream comp. It's going to be archers and sofa, but... I mean, the gilded archers destroy regular archers. That's just the way it is. Even without scale armor. But scale armor is going to make it even worse. And I mean... Gilded Spearman against Sofa. Ay. It's going to be very tricky for Beasty to get out of. I mean, he doesn't care too much about this gold. Yeah. He doesn't care too much about that gold because it's only a small one and there's another one at the back. But the bigger pit mine is a concern because that's also getting torched.
With Malians, it's always like this too, even on more traditional matchups and maps. It's a matter of hold the line, and as long as they don't take catastrophic losses, they usually can bounce back with enough units. Now here it's tricky because Puppypaw's had such an edge economically for a while with the extra fishing. Now with the age up and the relics, you just gotta wonder, like, is it gonna be enough? Sofa doing their thing. Gonna get another kill. Actually, it's the first villager kill of the entire game here, 11, almost 12 minutes in.
Indeed, quite a passive startup to this game, but it's ramping up very quickly here, and for good reason, because Beasty has to break out of the stranglehold. Sofa moves onto the archers, but you can see how much damage they're taking already. It's just so strong. Huge attack speed as well.
Yeah, that gilded is, when they say gilded, they mean gilded. Things are tough. More Sofa trolling around. Scale armor coming in as well. That'll add a +3 to them. It'll go a long ways.
No, it's going to make the Beastie's archers virtually useless, right? Up against Puppy's archers, at least. The Spearman, it's a different matter, but... And comp-wise, it's not like Beastie has much choice either. Like, this is actually the only comp he can go for here. I mean, maybe Javs, I guess, but they're not going to do great against Gilded Spears, that's for sure.
And that's kind of the problem, right? Is like... There's no one unit that counters everything. You got to have a good mix, but it's tough. Sofa Getting a couple more kills for the effort here, and those are not regular vills, those are gilded villagers. Like I said, gilded means better and more expensive. 4 of them. Pretty good amount of damage actually dealt. But the pit mine's going down. I think Beasty's okay with this for the time being. Got a second one now in the back.
Yeah, very nice raid there from Beasty. As good as he can possibly hope to find, actually. It's going to be the first step in a bit of a road to recovery, because the tempo is very much not in his favor here. Already Puppy capping the second sacred site, has 4 relics under his control. Well, 3, but yeah, Monk's definitely going down, but soon to be 4 after this one gets picked up.
He'll be avenged. Maybe. Oh, maybe not. At this point, it feels like, this is the tricky thing with Order Dragon, is they don't play very well wide. I feel like their strength is when they group together and push together. Like, if you get an insurmountable force, when you start scattering their forces across, they're dangerous, but they don't go wide as well as other ones. And it's just because of population efficiency. They're so pop efficient. If you have a couple spears, they just kind of chase you around forever. There's so many pockets you can just run around them.
Yeah.
So I feel like Puppypaw is going to eventually need to mass up and actually do some real lasting damage to what Beasty has. Because right now, playing wide across the map in little groups like this, he's winning a little bit here, a little bit there, but he needs to do like an actual knockout punch.
I mean, he's fine for now, I think, because the issue is, right, so Mali's real strength comes in, it's the food income, that's true, but it's not just the food income in and of itself, it's actively trading units too, kind of like Ottomans, right? Beasty wants fights to happen ideally constantly, because, I mean, if both players reach 200 pop, one army is just going to be better than the other one. And let me tell you, it's not going to be the Malian army, that's for sure. So, like,
this is true.
Beasty, like, what we're seeing right now, and I think Beasty understands this, obviously, of course, he's a great player, so he kind of has to force a few fights here, because if we're just talking about pure Burgrave reaching 200 pop, that's got to be incredibly scary. Throw in prelates in there for inspiration as well. It's really rough.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I think what Beasty's been doing here about spreading it out wide, kind of hit and run tactics, as it were, has been really effective for him thus far. Standing and fighting here, Sofa on the front line. We do have Gilded Men at Arms, though, tanking them. Numbers a little bit thin for Puppypaw, but it's hard to always gauge these fights with Order of the Dragon. They're just so tricky to take out. Sofa getting a little bit weak in the front line. The Men at Arms get on top of them. And now the archers open up for the horsemen to get on top of them. This could be problematic here for Beasty. They're taking out the gilded archers one by one, but boy, those horsemen are going to just shred through them like paper mache.
Yeah, just a huge mass of archers here means that Beasty is able to clean up a lot of the mass, but he's going to lose his entire mass for it. Dwindles a good chunk of Puppypaw's numbers, and he does see the horseman transition here. That should definitely inform his next decision, which is going to be even more Sofa. Definitely the right one. Big raid behind this too. Finds another villager and plenty of idle time. Decaps the right side.
I mean, you got to give the Beasty. He's playing exactly the way he needs to be to keep in this game.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of a bad fight in the middle there. Lost a little more than you'd like, but the raids and other things making up for that, I think.
Now Poison Arrows is on the way as well. Now halfway complete.
That'd be huge.
I wonder if we have imported armor yet. I'm not sure. Probably not, because it's so expensive nowadays. No, we don't.
Poison arrows would go a long way here, I feel like, especially against Order of the Dragon. With how much health these units have, you don't run the risk of overkilling easily with poison arrows.
That's right. Gonna clean up this little mess.
Sofa doing a great job.
Yeah, Sofa is so amazingly up against Men-at-Arms. Even Gilded Men-at-Arms, for that matter. On Horseman. Almost escapes.
Now that the poison arrows are in, they're going to be even more effective. I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, that trickle damage on those guys with so much HP cannot be understated. Against, like, weak units, you know, it's like, well, they're dying more to the actual arrow fire than they are trickle damage. But against Order of the Dragon especially, I mean, that's like the perfect time to click that upgrade.
Basically, the pressure is off now, right? The site is decapped.
Yeah.
He's still way behind in relics, which is a concern. But he's cleaned up most of Puppypaw's errant forces, so to say. And Puppy's still
Well, the longer
out on
this game goes, the longer this game goes, the better it feels for Malians into the mid-late castle, because the cow boom is fully online. You're getting so many resources a minute. I mean, the food is still in favor of Puppy, but a lot of Beastie's food, I mean, look at the difference in villagers that he's got on that. 13 bills on food for Beastie, 31 for Puppypaw. It's just a lot of the Beastie's food is just passive, which is huge. Now, a lot of the gold, however, for Puppy is also passive, as we see villagers trying to stay alive by this tower. It looks like Puppypaw will be able to defend it and keep the tower up. Nice
Very nice
hold there for him.
That was greatly done there by Puppy. By the skin of his teeth, the tower survives. Surrounding the horseman, he's going to fall pretty quickly. But with crossbowmen now for Puppy, and plenty of them too, now it gets very, very dangerous. Good number of prelates too for that inspiration, and this is exactly the comp you want as Puppy. The gilded men-at-arms with the crossbows supported by prelates. A couple of horsemen won't go amiss either, just for raids and to wrap around onto the archers. It's always going to be very annoying. And Beastie is going to have a real tough time dealing with this comp, I think, and we can see him. He's going through some donzos against the horsemen, but the presence of so many men-at-arms with crossbow behind them means that so far not going to cut it. We need Musafadi, but Musafadi, we're talking pop efficiency, right? Musafadi's not up there.
He's only got 5. Yeah, not up there, and he's only got 5 of them. I'm a little worried, because again, once you get... Puppypaw's been playing with basically trash units to begin this game. Obviously, Order of the Dragon trash units are not as trashy as regular units. But now that he's gone for premium gold units, these things don't drop easily. And there's Malians have a hard time countering that, right?
Yeah.
The poison arrows will help. He's going to need a lot of archers, but they don't have a lot of great answers to this composition.
Puppy is going to get caught here. His composition is slower, so he's forced to hold the ground as Beastie forces the fight. Moving into the south side with the sofa is going to move out the village, is going to force them away from the tower, actually. But that does mean that the archer mass from Beastie is left mostly exposed, with only some measly infantry at the front to hold the line against gilded men-at-arms, boosted by the prelates. Beastie doing a nice wraparound onto the backline to focus fire as many of these crossbows as possible, but it is a wipe socket, and Beastie's army is getting butchered here on the front line. There's just the compositional advantage is huge here for Puppypaw, and Beastie's lack of quality in his units is manifest here as the Malians.
Yeah, there's just nothing there. Nothing going. Poison arrows are great, but you don't have a front line that can withstand the might of those gilded men-at-arms, and they just kind of push through, stepping over, really, those units. And with the horsemen to kind of close the gap as well, there's no really chance to kite either. And instead, it's a wipe, and now units looking very much in favor of Puppypaw. And this is where Order of the Dragon can be so frustrating to go against. Everyone likes to rip on Order of the Dragon as being not a great civ. And they're not the best civ, but man, they get scary when they get in mass numbers like this.
Yeah, on this map, they're honestly one of the best. For this reason, right? They get the safe food with the fishing, they get a great Aachen, and they're able to eventually combine their super sturdy mass here in the center in a narrow passageway to protect the sites. It's optimal map for Order of the Dragon, which is why we see them as one of the top picks here. Beastie, though, as ever, especially under pressure, is going to be relentless with his raiding, and Puppy is starting to feel it. There's already a lot of villager kills. And
those kills matter more, right? Pound for pound. I mean, those villagers are not normal villagers. So when you see 24, that is yikes to me. I mean, that's what's keeping this game even close to even. If the equal numbers hadn't been lost, Puppypaw would have easily won this game by now. But now the Cowboom gets a chance to kind of keep Beastie in this. He's allowed to kind of keep be buoyed up here. The mass of Puppypaw is slow moving, but it will do some damage. We see now more raids happening.
Beastie is everywhere. He's in 3 sides at once raiding, and Puppy just keeps bleeding so many villagers. Overzealous in his lead means that he doesn't address his defenses at home. Finds a lot of villagers though on Beastie's side, picks up there on the deer pack, and once again finds the large pit mine there. But Puppy's still struggling to react to all the raids in his base. It's just a bloodbath on both sides. It's ridiculous, actually. It's quite funny to see.
37 to 16. The numbers are getting very dire for both. Beastie, though, is ahead economically. The nice thing for Puppypaw is he does have some fishing ships. However, I think he's long-distance fishing now on the pond.
Yeah. He's fishing
that does
from
not feel
Beasty's
good.
side back to his own. That's so funny. Beasty does have a second DC behind this as well, set up all the way in the northern corner. Plenty of farms to boot as well. Hasn't been up for too long, I don't think.
Not for very long, but with the amount of Vil kills that have been inflicted, I feel like Beasty's in a very strong economic spot.
Yeah, it's
now, can you translate
rough.
that to a military victory?
That's the question, because I mean, Beasty, I was wondering if he might prepare for a huge wraparound on Puppy's army at the pit mine, but he didn't deem his unit numbers quite up to scratch yet, which I think was the right choice. Might as well just keep raiding. I mean, why not, right? You have the superior cavalry.
Working.
It's working. I mean, especially with the 2 TC up now.
The 16.
So, Beasty.
I mean, it's just insane the amount of damage they've done to each other.
We even have some javelin throwers in the mix here to help out against the crossbows. That's, I think, a great choice. And Marines don't do this enough, honestly. Just have like 10 to 12 javelins in Castle Age to have one group focus fire and backline. I think is definitely a great choice here by Beasty. It's going to help out in the fight quite a bit. Although I think you probably need more. You probably need more than 11 to one-shot gilded crossbow.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Will be interesting to see.
Puppypaw is struggling because Beasty is doing a good job of hitting him in multiple spots at the same time. Again, Puppypaw can't spread his military out that wide. He needs to have a good mass to take on this fight coming up right here. Beasty is just doing a great job of just poking the bear from all angles. And now the onslaught begins. The men-at-arms charging forward to meet the sofa. Lots of archers behind doing some poison damage. Actually, this could be really good here for Beasty if the front line has enough in it. But behind this, Puppypaw does have some monks healing them up as well. The prelates doing what they can. Backline of Beasty trying, but the front line starting to get a little worn thin. The archers from Beasty doing so much damage here.
Yes, the focus fire is excellent from Beasty in this fire. The javelins teeing off towards the side, starting to one-shot the crossbowmen, and GG is cold. The archers on the prelates as well. Very well executed here by Beasty in what seemed like such a bizarre matchup, but the plan was there all along. Now ties up the series against Puppy. Oh, yeah.
I mean, they're going for the cow boom. It took a while to pay off, but then the moment he started getting those raids in, you can really see it there around the 20-minute mark, the 24-minute mark. That was brutal, and Puppypaw was just stretched too thin. Order of the Dragon has a hard time dealing with that, like I said, and it really manifested there. And suddenly, what was once looking like a chance for a sweep is now showing the chance for a reverse sweep. Beasty has tied up this series 2-2 with a shot of not just avoiding a sweep now, but winning the whole thing with a reverse sweep. We're going the distance. I mean, this is much more of a reasonable looking series that we thought going in, right? We would expect this one not to be a sweep, but so far, so good.
Absolutely. Puppy now must be shaking a little bit in his boots, especially, not to jinx anything, but especially with this slightly tricky matchup for him, I want to say. Ayubids against Golden Horde. It is Lipany, to be fair. I say that probably definitely favors Ayubids more as a map than Golden Horde in particular. But, I mean, still really tough for Ayubids, I think.
It's also a good civ for Puppypaw. Both the Canadian brothers, kind of, I mean, as much as we like to talk like home civs, I would put Ayubids as one of their home civs easily. It's definitely one of the ones they use a lot. They've innovated with the civ a number of times. That said, Golden Horde's good, but I think I agree. I think I like Ayubids on Lipany especially.
I just hope we see another Industry 2TC into Mastersmiths.
I don't know that we're going to see that this time. I just don't know.
Oh, I hope we do.
You hope we do? I mean, then it would really cement it in the meta, wouldn't it? If it worked twice.
Just imagine winning against Golden Horde with that. Like, so my cat shows off his tail.
I'm trying to. It's kind of horrifying, actually.
Yep.
It'd be something. Boy, what a series, man. Kudos to Beasty for getting back into this one. It was going to be a little sad if this one finished with a 3-0, but instead goes the distance against Puppypaw. And what else could we have expected between these two excellent players? 2 minutes before we jump into our final game of the day. It's been fun so far, Myriad. We've had a blast.
It has been very, very fun. Some incredible series on our hands, and what a way to round out the day as well here with up to the 5th game between two fantastic players. And I'm curious what we're going to see here, especially from Iobit as the wings of choice, because excuse me, I'm a bit distracted.
Now the meta's been shaken up a little bit. Yeah, Puppypaw has done some wild things with this one today earlier. We got to see that against Kiliardi. That was something. A minute and a half. We'll be diving in. I think I like the choice. I think these are the best Civ options for both of them here. Obviously, no one wants to deal with Zushi anymore. So Yubid's kind of the pick. I think Puppypaw's probably pretty happy about that, honestly. And then Sengoku, even though the nerfs, not wanting to deal with that. I actually agree with that here from Puppypaw. I think Sengoku's a tougher play for the Ayubids.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough because ultimately, like in feudal, it gets very difficult for Puppy, especially in a more extended feudal, just because Beasty's army, as the Golden Horde, is sort of so much better, right? The Torguds, the buff from the Khan, it's just a lot. And in Castlage, when it comes to timing, that's when it gets tricky for Golden Horde, especially from the tempo the Ayubids has with aging up. And you throw Camel Lances in the mix, suddenly the Torguds don't do much damage, or Keshiks if there are any. It's a bit of an unexplored matchup, and we don't see it too often, but I think it can lead to some really intriguing dynamics as to how it unfolds. There's a lot of possibilities, right? Which is always exciting in a matchup.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to come down to we know it's in Puppypaw's court, right? As to what he wants to do, because we know what Beasty is going to do with the Golden Horde. That's meta on that is pretty firm and cemented. Puppypaw's already shown us today, like he's willing to do some different things and different outlooks. I think we'll see more of a traditional Ayubids play. I don't think we're going to see the 2TC thing again. Maybe I'll eat my hat on that in a second, but we'll find out. As it is, we go into game 5 here in just a moment. Tied up at 2. Who would have thought, man? After Baldland, after Four Lakes, I was not expecting this one to go the distance. I was not so sure about that, but here we are. Beasty with a chance to not only avoid the sweep, as I said earlier, but win it. Meanwhile, Puppypaw with a third chance to close it out. It's match point both ways. We dive into game 5. In the south here, in the yellow, we've got Beasty as the Golden Horde with the Ovo popping right up. Up in the north, as the Ayubids, Puppypaw in the red.
House of Wisdom already going up here for Puppy. Just going for the early House of Wisdom build. And already moving to gold as well. Couple on sheep. So this is... Oh, I think it's 2TC again.
You think?
Actually, it's hard to say. I was going to say, so he is planning to leave just 4 on berries after aging up. That's why he's not going with more there. But doesn't tell us too much. I mean, it might actually be 2TC. That's quite indicative of a 2TC. Like, that's what Abbasid does, right? But it can mean so many more things with Iobit as well, because it might just be fast Golden Age into units. It's, yeah.
If we can take a look back at that base real quick, Vodka, I want to take a look at
I don't want to jinx it.
Here. Honestly, I think this is actually standard. This is very standard. The reason behind it is you don't want to lose the walking distance over to the berries. You just get them straight to the sheep right after. This looks like this could be anything still.
But then what is standard, right? Ultimately, because
I mean, yeah, to each their own. But I would say this is definitely within the realm of standard, though. This is something I would tell players even like get the first couple will go straight to the berries, leave the rest, go on to the sheep. The 2 on gold early is interesting. Each their own, you know. I feel like the math kind of works out either way, you know. So I don't feel like it's unheard of.
It's a bit of a unique build for sure. I mean, no matter what it does, this is efficient ultimately because you will be shifting the food villages to wood. No matter what you do. Oh, he's off of gold. He's off of gold, Sokoton. He's off of gold. It's industry again. It's happening again.
He's done it again.
He's on stone.
You were on it. No. You were itching for it, and it is. He's going to do it again. The mad lad is going to go for it twice. And BC sees this immediately. This scout, the hawk flying around. He knows exactly what is up. But, man, what an interesting build. You know, now if it works twice, Myriad, that means it's meta. So now we get the answer. We were saying results were inconclusive because it worked the first time. But you could point to like the horse archers or this, that, or the other. What was it that lost the game? Well, now we're going to find out. I swear,
if Beasty starts making Kipchaks and ruins this test as well, then I don't know.
That would actually be really funny, but I don't expect him to do that. Maybe he'll surprise us. As it is right now, he's aging up in 90 seconds with the Khan and Torgoods. Economic Wing Industry. So this will be parlayed into a 2TC build for Puppypaw, which we've seen before. Feels a little strange, but again, with the lower cost of TCs, we've seen it be a viable strat. It's worked before. We'll see how well it works against the Golden Horde and Beasty, but for the time being, we'll just sit tight, watch these scouts pester each other.
Yeah, I'm still speechless, to be honest. I have no idea what to expect. And, well, it's going to be TC, that's for sure. And there's a perfect place for it with that deer pack. It's almost begging for it to the right side of that wood line. That's where it wants to be.
Yep.
What's the follow-up? I mean, Beasty, I would imagine, for Golden Horde especially, I imagine the easiest response here is one of the most brutal all-ins you've ever seen, right? It just makes perfect sense. They have all the tools for it. And it's a great sieve to go for it. It will be a very tough hold for Puppy, right? Like, this is not going to be 2TC against 2TC. I imagine Beasty is going to not let go of that gas pedal, which he shouldn't really. There's no reason to. I mean, what's Ayubid going to do holding 2TC against the Golden Horde all-in? Just think about it, right? I mean, Abba
I got one word for you. Got one word for you.
Go ahead.
Camels.
Well, yeah, I mean...
That's what it's going to be. It's going to be banking on that debuff of the camel unease. That's what you bank on, probably. Maybe some desert raiders to hold the fort. Whether or not that's going to work, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, Chief. You're more optimistic than me in this regard.
Regardless, we're in for a really good final game. I mean, that's what that means. We're going to learn something one way or the other.
I mean, and Beasty himself, I don't know if he... I mean, we did see him in chat a couple of times. He might have seen the last series, but I don't know if he's caught this game, because this was an in-between, right? The one we saw with Puppy doing this. So, he probably definitely didn't see it, because he was getting ready for his series, most likely. Unless he, peeped in to have a look at the stream. And he might have seen it then, but if not, this is his first time encountering this in this tournament. And what's your visceral reaction to this? Like, what's your first instinct? Do you just like, okay, well, I can go castle straight away and get relics? Or do you just like, okay, well, I can just kill him? And I think this answers the question.
I think he's going to go for kill him. Answer C.
Oh, yeah.
Batu-Khan looking at the gold here. Not able to get any damage with the spear right there. Now comes the question, though. Again, part of the reason I think this worked last time is that there's quite a lot of distance between these TCs. It's kind of a long way away. Epiphany lets you spawn on the edges. So there's a little bit more time to get ready. That said, it's not that much more distance. So first of the archers come in, taking shots at the spearmen. That's going to force them back.
Yeah, already the gold is off limits for Puppy. And there's no other accessible gold at all for him. All of it is projected forwards on the left, in the center, the big gold on the right. So there's going to be no gold sneaking here.
DC with really good intuition to where that DC is at, sending his units straight to it. There they are. Puppypaw quick with the draw, though. Puts the villagers inside in time. That villager leading the charge? Okay, there we go. A brave little villager that could, wanting to go take a shiv through the Batu-Khan. He just thinks otherwise and thinks better of it.
Gonna be...
Yeah, Beasty, not hesitating to really get ready to mass up here. This is going to be very, very dangerous for Puppypaw.
Rightfully so as well. I mean, what tools does Ayubid have on the defense here? Golden Age fire armor, I guess, but the TC is not even connected. So even that is not present here for Puppy. He doesn't even have Golden Age yet. Sokoden. It's actually already just
does he?
Yeah, it's really rough for Puppy, honestly. And I mean, it's exactly what you'd expect, to be honest. Like, I don't want to doubt the play too much, but I'm very much doubting it now. It's just like against Golden Horde specifically. I don't know what the plan is exactly, but I mean, it's gonna be Tricom defense, which he has no choice but to do, because Beasty is gonna have his Tricom filled out. Already we have the spears, the archers we saw earlier, of course, and naturally, the Torgut as well as the Khan will not stop coming. And, I mean, we needed the minimum Golden Age here. He's going to get it now, with that extra house being built. Another 10% gathering rate on all his villages. A nice little bonus.
This
And
is
a good
good
early
here by
raid.
Puppy. Getting a villager up. That's good. If you want to maximize the return on your town center, go kill some of your opponent's vills. That disparity of vill number is going to look really good. Already up by 6 now with that kill. But yeah, the real problem at hand here being that there is now a tower just going to be bisecting the base. Ooh, this could be bad. Right in between the TCs. That's going to leave the only avenue to really safely traverse the two to being behind that wood line, nice and exposed. This is a nice placement by Beasty. I actually really like this play.
It's a really, really good placement here by Beasty. Absolutely. Not only is this going to be an amazing staging ground for him, and he can always call in the extra health on his units around outposts when he needs it in the fight, but the wood line. And this is the only accessible wood line for Puppy at all this whole game. He can't go anywhere else. All the other ones are very exposed. There's nothing behind his base. If this is denied...
Yeah, maybe that... He's got that little one next to the PC up there. Close-ish. You might be able to get a couple of trees off that. I mean, it'd be risky.
If he's feeling extra spicy, he could try it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean...
Well, he cuts them in two with the tower that goes up right there. So a really good spot. Beasty's game plan here, reacting to this play by Puppypaw, I think is actually really good. And this is massive find right here. Thankfully for Puppy, he's got the spears to delay any damage right now, but Beasty does gain some knowledge of the fact that that deer pack is being consumed.
Exactly. Now, there is a massive cliff in the way there. Beasty's not going to have an easy time getting to that deer pack. But it's mainly the wood that's a concern here for Puppy, right? Like the food is there, and that one's tough to deny. Not much you can do as Beasty, but yeah, I want to keep up the pressure on this wood line. I think even now could look to dive into the wood line with a Torgood, score some idle time. Maybe a kill here or there.
That's
the
said,
TC
I mean,
fire
getting some
could be
forward
dangerous.
production going up, which I like. I like the forward production here from Beasty. How long does Puppypaw have to hold on to this before he gets ahead is now the question. Because he's up by 12 villagers right now. Hasn't lost any villagers so far despite all this. He's had some idle time, but you see the units. Okay, there's the first villager killed. And now the TC getting torched.
Golden Age
forces
looks
Puppypaw
like...
onto the play.
Yeah, I'm not sure the Golden Age is connected yet. It's going to be holding the choke point there for Puppypaw. Looks like it might not really work.
Yeah, I think maybe Puppy has overcooked this one. Beasty, quick on the draw, saw it, immediately reacted correctly to it. He's just going to commit to the all-in here. And it's trying to surround back line of Puppy, trying to hold on to this. The spears trying to take some good engagements. It's tricky on all sides, though. The number's dwindling. Beasty almost double the units now. Archers behind that untouched. The horsemen try to get on top of them, but can't do that much damage. Meanwhile, the archers of Puppypaw dwindling down to almost nothing. A random spear coming in to help defend, but he's just going to immediately get shot down. And this is going to be just a wipe from Beasty here.
More and more reinforcement units coming through the DC. With Undermesh Prison, these Torguds really don't care for a little bit of arrow fire. So the rest of Puppy's military is getting wiped clean, unit by unit here. His base still bisected, the tower still present, the woodline now under direct threat. Barely any room in that woodline for the villagers to work and bring in returns. Beasty, I mean, his own military is taking a heavy beating, right? Diving in so deep, but
Yeah.
he can sustain this as long as he wants, really. We do have a big food problem now, though, for Beasty. Had a massive idle time there for a second, down to 200 a minute.
Exactly. Is that enough? Is the question. I mean, it's Puppy's in a really tough spot. If he stabilizes here, he's up by a good number of vills. He only lost a couple on that engagement, but it doesn't feel like it's enough to really propel him forward. He doesn't have any kind of bank. He's spending resources as fast as he can get them. Beasty at least has a supply and surplus of wood and stone, a little bit of gold to boot. But kind of a tough blow. Puppy just kind of in a stuck spot right now.
Yeah, Beasty is very committed
good
behind
find.
the side. Oh, huge. Yeah, the villagers are less there.
This could very well be the game right here. And again, that knowledge that he discovered this earlier doesn't get as many kills as he probably would have liked. Actually, not very many at all. But he can come back and hit that a couple more times, though.
I mean, the massive food downtime that Beasty had really hurt his push here. He's actually, like, he's so committed to this. We see this day pack is all his food income. He has a couple on the berries going down there. Yeah, they just started gathering here, but this is very committed, and we have no ball play from Beasty either. So it's a bit of a downtime in units.
I mean, if Puppy had enough time to, now he's got the more military units on the field. Suddenly it's like, okay, if you can just secure resources and secure your base, you've still got that town center standing. He hasn't taken that much damage economically, only 4 villagers. He might lose more here as this group closes in. Yep. Caster's Curse right on it. Beasty able to perceive that those units were there. Probably saw them as they ran over there.
Yeah, and upon seeing this, most of the military should be shifted down towards here to try and trap them. But, I mean, there's not too much military, to be fair, for Beasty to speak of. All of it's spread out around the map. He's going to pick up a lot, though, on the retreat here. And already
not to mention the idle time.
Yeah, for sure. Still a healthy villager lead here for Puppy, but he's lost so much of it. TC has paid off by now, but of course there's a lot of idle time to consider. Some unfavorable fights for Puppy as well. The food is getting more and more limited. He still has a decent bank built up and income, but it's not going to last for long. Managed to get a ram up to try and take this down, but Beastie's units are in position.
With a ram of their own to boot. Like they're going to try and take down that TC here in a second, or maybe some of the production buildings up front. More tough fights, though. I mean, that tower was just such a good play. I'll be trying to get some raids in the back of that. Not doing as much damage as he probably would like to be doing. Desperate hold here from Puppy.
Oh yeah, the rest of his military is now rejoining, so it doesn't look like there's much here for Beastie, but now the reinforcements are here, so this should definitely push Puppy away, or at least make him think twice about committing this deep, but looks like it's not the case. He's committing the ram, but there's no way the ram takes it down, right? There's not many melee units. One more hit wouldn't have been enough, but it would have brought it dangerously close to burning down, which it still is, to be fair. Looks like the villager that was here. No, he's still here, actually. He's going to come back. Is it going to be quick enough, though? I think it might be.
It's going to be close, but I think Puppy has bigger problems than that. There's another ram being built right outside of his base.
Yep.
Loses the production building, and I think the TC is not long for this world.
Yeah, absolutely. The military count from Beastie is only continuing to increase and accelerate compared to Puppy, who's just, has nothing left, and he understands it. GG is cold. The reverse sweep is in.
Anticlimactic, perhaps, but man, the reverse sweep, like you said, reverse sweep is in. Beastie comes back after going 0-2 to win the next 3 and take the series. That has to feel really good after the way this day started for Beastie. So congrats to him. Puppypaw had a chance to close this one out 3 times, couldn't get it done, but still has 2 wins under his belt as well. A good game and a quick one at that.
Absolutely. Big win here for Beastie. Puppy's not going to be too disappointed with this. I think he's through regardless, right? I think even if Beastie lost it, I think he would still be through, if I'm not mistaken. As well.
I don't think he's lost a single other series,
Well, there's still matches tomorrow, actually, right, to consider. So I guess it's not, it's not set in stone yet either way, no matter what happens today. Well, for some there are, but I'm not exactly sure for these two. But it's just... I mean, it's an interesting idea, all right? Like this
maybe the build isn't
I'm not a believer, frankly.
It worked the first time, but maybe not against Beastie when he sees it and immediately reacts correctly to it. I think that's kind of what we're seeing here, is that he saw it, knew that he could get away. I feel like against the Golden Horde too, when they have a good feudal age, it just doesn't work when they've got a good feudal age. You're giving up way too much tempo as a Ubids.
That's the thing. Like this could work quite well against civs where you actually have a lot of time and feudal all-in is unlikely. But I mean, all the best civs are really strong feudal civs, right? Is the reality of today. So against all the best civs that are likely to be picked, this is just going to fall flat, I think, is the reality in most cases. It could also just be a distraction strategy here from Puppy, honestly. Like, this could just be something he pulls out here when he doesn't care too much about the win because he's already through in terms of series, or when he's so far ahead like he did in the B series, right? Like, this could just be pure memeing from Puppy, and we might not even know it.
Yeah, definitely. That tower, man. Wow. What a good spot for that one that ended up being. Congrats to Beastie on a good series fought. Struggled through, got the win. That's got to feel really good. But man, what a day. We've had some incredible matchups and some surprising results through those as well. This has been fun. It's been a pleasure, Myriad.
It
Have
has.
a look here at
Indeed.
our final matches of the Group A at the end of the day. So, usual suspects doing very well as normal. Marine Lord having a pretty good day. That sweep against Vortex was surprising, though. That was interesting. Right now, he's 2-2 against Anatand. Overall, though, 14-7, 4-1 on the series. Doing pretty okay for himself, I would say. Same for Vortex, though.
That's right. The usual suspects here at the top in Group A. There's a bit of a sort of... There's a slight divide, right, there among the top four and the bottom four. That's sort of what you would expect. Lines are a little bit more blurred here in Group B, I would say, though, with players like Louis MT making a return, right? Sort of players that have been on the cusp of the very upper echelon for a long time, like Numudan. And then you have Lucifron as well, of course, who has been back more recently, but also after a very long break a while ago now. He's getting back up to his previous standard for sure, this stage. And we can see Group B, at least, Beasty still leading the way. And this is updated, right? I think, yeah. So this is with today's results. So this was Beasty's only loss up against Lucifron in his group. So he's going to be more than happy with his results for sure so far.